The dark truth behind DarkViperAU, the reality of React content analyzed by WillyMacShow.
Recently, we've been having to wrangle some lolcows, first with Hassan's response, and now it's Dark Viper's turn. Back in April, I made a video giving my opinion on reaction content, Viper striking Chud's critical reaction of him, and his crippling victim complex whenever someone mildly disagrees or inconveniences him.
Why must my life suffer?
So, I have a history in dealing with this gentleman, as we'll call him. Very specifically, because this individual lacks basic human intelligence. What do you mean by that? So there's a specific tweet that he made, which he has redacted. Very specifically, I was responding to this. Citable tweet for how people think other creators view React content creators. It's wild to think that it's okay to call creators like me SA. We're going to censor that. It's not hyperbolic. It's outdated tweet, and as this outdated tweet is still up, thus an official statement of his brand and any company associated, which in my opinion is incredibly fair. However, notice the post is unavailable. Notice it has been now deleted. I have to go to Reddit to find an archive of this, to which then it does this weird thing. For your convenience, dear chat, I did find it though. The tweet in question is going to be DarkViperAU compares reaction with people who are SA. They will SA others. People who live their lives exploiting others, their labors or careers in their own lust for money and power are the very sort of people who would SA somebody. A reactor's career is specifically about ignoring consent and only respecting people when the profit is at risk. DarkViperAU at DarkViperAU, February 7th, 2022. I hope I did, a mock DarkViperAU voice correctly for you. Get that whininess across. So let's hear that last line again, right? Let's hear that again. Right.
Whenever someone mildly disagrees or inconveniences him.
Why must my life suffer?
Because, once again, and I've said this ad infinitum, SA sucks. I've been through it. Other people have been through it. Friends I know have been through it. I don't like it. I don't like having to, talk about it. I really don't. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. I don't wish that on DarkViperAU. Defending it as hyperbole is childish. That alone is enough to disqualify you from any sort of respect that I can give you as a person. That is absolutely wrong. In any event, this tweet ended up going on into his community mollywobbing me, saying something, I just want my peace. Clearly, he deletes it at this point. However, I do stand by, my stance. This is representative of his brand. This is what he truly believes, because he not only doubled, but tripled down on it. You play stupid games, win stupid prizes. If you want to call people, even hyperbolically, everyone, as a broad generalization, who will commit SA, expect the criticism, expect the negative feedback. That's how that works. Don't do it if you don't want the repercussions. That's how that works. So, yeah, pretty sure it's in his 14-page document. I'm pretty sure that this is actually an excerpt from his 14-page document. Now that you're caught up on my history with this absolute buffoon, let's return to Willy Mac.
Why must I suffer so with no one caring for so long?
Dark Viper has since released 2 videos, over 5 hours of content, repeating the same points that I've already covered, calling me a liar when I slightly misspeak. Viper said Ethan memeing him saying 14 pages has traumatized him.
It's 14 pages!
Because one of my favorite people on the internet, Dark Viper, 14 pages!
I don't think Ethan is a very good person, and his using a soundbite of one of the most traumatic, angry moments of my entire life for many, many years on his stream, perhaps 100 times, is a bit more than excessive. And
so don't post it then. If you don't want to crash out being public, don't post it. Plain and simple. It's the internet. Especially if you're doing something dumb, which clearly you are, people are going to meme on it. Especially at 2 million subscribers, you do have eyeballs on you. You do have expectations and pressure on you. This is just the business. That's how that works. Because guess what? I don't just do React content. As I keep saying, it's the only thing that seems to really kind of stick and work. I stream on Twitch. I have a VOD channel, which has over 100 uploads on it. I have a main channel, Kip, which I have a couple uploads on. Editing's not my strong point. Tactikip, which I've had shorts on about firearms, but mostly it's come to React content. I have done edited work. I do other things. When the React content is what gets pushed and is reinforced by 98% of people that, wow, okay, you're actually sitting here. You're engaging with the content. Look, I'm doing the best I can. And eventually something else besides React content will stick. So, Skill issue get bent? Question mark? Like, once again, if you can't handle the heat, don't do it. That's plain and simple. That's how you adult.
Very sick.
Why was this traumatic for you? You're angry over nothing.
That is not at all what I said. You can note here that Willy's claim is that H3H3 spamming this clip for years was traumatic for me. But then he showed a clip where I specifically didn't say that. I called
Because, as it turns out, you post things that are very easily spammable. Because normal, well-adjusted adults do not do this. I'm the autistic person in the room, okay? I'm on that spicy spectrum. I got that neurospicy in me. If I can look at this and go, whoa, man, normal people don't do this. That's not okay. What is your excuse? All I'm saying, my dude, if I can read the room better than you, if I can have more social cognizance than you, that's a problem. You might want to seek professional help.
my interactions with Charlie years ago traumatic.
I said Ethan traumatized him when it was actually Charlie who did. My bad. He says he would sue me if he thought he wouldn't get bad press for it.
I could sue these guys for defamation. Could spend all the money to no way make back the money that I was.
So when you say this, the follow-up, and I'm rather impressed at WillyMac for going through with this. If I were to hear this, my next response is, that is fine. Your legal team may reach out to me with any further documentation. Have a nice day. To force them into that interaction. And then even then, I would make sure to publicly say, this is what happened. This person has threatened to sue. Any further correspondence may come from their legal team. Sure, do it. When you threaten legal action, even if it's just like me working in finance, right? Well, you know, I'll just talk to my lawyer. That is perfectly fine. You're more than any further correspondence may come from your legal team to our legal team. Have a nice day. And then you terminate the call. You terminate the interaction. Because once you threaten legal action, you've effectively rolled for combat. Do not throw these around just willy-nilly, right? If you're, once again, reading the room. Like, I know it's popular to threaten lawsuits. I understand the social, this is popular. If you threaten this, once again, do not complain about the negative feedback. Don't do it. Just don't do the action. Don't reap the consequences. You threaten legal action. Your legal team may now speak to my legal team. Have a nice day.
Spend so much of my time that I normally spend on making content and get a ruling that would certainly be in my favor because they lied. Like, so many times did they obviously lie. But I'm gonna look bad the entire time.
I followed him on Blue Sky after seeing this, and he frames me as a stalker.
And it's not that he follows friends, family.
Actually, thanks for letting me know he's on Blue Sky. I need to make sure I block this man. Thank you, WillyMac.
Content he enjoys. He's like, oh, I can stalk that DarkViperAU guy, that guy who blocked me. This is insane behavior. This is psychotic. This is not normal.
I followed your branded social media and you're acting like I showed up to your house. He probably thinks I'm assaulting him just for watching his video. This video is about friendships.
There was this one question he asked where he asked about like who I talk about. He asked who I talk to about this. Who do I bounce ideas off? And I said to him, like I don't talk to anyone really. And then I'm a bit of a loner. I just assume that everyone will eventually like work against my interests.
So here's the secret about being an adult, my guy. I am the bounce off person for everyone in my life. Eventually people do move on. I mean, this is just how this works. This is how adults work. At the end of the day, you know, friend, acquaintance, you're going to move on. That's life, my guy. As it turns out, do your own thing. People will stay, whether it's viewers, whether it's subscribers, whether it's friends, acquaintances, significant others, etc. They will stay for you. If you're so worried about, well, everyone will just work against my interests, and I'm such a loner. First of all, you're coming across as super edgy, okay? Let's get some rubber edges on that, okay? Right? Let's put some PPE on, because that's pretty edgy. Second, then you fix the issue, right? Coming from a strictly men, right? Men in the comment section. If there's a problem, what do you do? And I'm sure, absolutely, women, non-binary. I mean, I'm sure some of you can chime in as well. What do you do if there's a problem? You fix it. You analyze the issue. You recognize, you acknowledge the issue, and you fix it. That's how that works. No one cares. And I've heard somebody say that, well, he's had a troubled past and he's done this. And dude, I don't care if he's a recovering addict. I don't care if he had the most broken home situation, okay? Like, you either let your past influence you to the way that you are an absolute just degenerate, you are absolutely just an awful, abysmal human being, or you use those as experiences to say, I don't want that to ever happen again, or I don't want this to happen, and you move on. As it turns out, the reason I don't raid a lot of people in what I do, because I'm kind of scared of larger numbers, right? If they're even remotely bigger than me, I feel like I'm being some sort of weird, like, some sort of weird detracting from them, right? Because I'm taking attention from their work by rating them. I also don't really reach out for collabs and stuff because at the end of the day, a lot of people do, rightly so, view content as transactional, right? Hi, I am John YouTuber. I have 2 million subscribers. You are John YouTuber. You have 1.7 million subscribers. Let's do a thing together, John YouTube, right? That kind of thing. I just sit in the voice call and whoever I trust enough just hops on in, right? We've seen this number of times on stream. I have a different mentality than a lot of people. That's not to say everyone does it, right? I'm sure there's plenty of people, maybe like Alfred and his crew, maybe they'll do that. We'll just hop into call with each other, mid-video and stuff like that. But like, you see the issues, right? Hey, potential people wanting to chase DarkViperAU just for clout. Maybe people wanting to lolcow on him. Maybe people wanting to get close to him only to backstab him, right? You see the issue, you acknowledge it can be an issue, and you fix the issue by taking steps to prevent that, right? And if suddenly you're having issues making friends, right? Once again, neurospicy person who has trouble making friends, you have to self-reflect and go, why is that the issue? In my case, I can tell you that I'm incredibly picky because of people I've done in the past. Now, if we vibe, if we click, absolutely. There's people who talk to me over Discord every day. And I'm like, yeah, no, you're super legit. Cool. Thanks for being here. Love having conversations with you, right? There's been a number of people that I can do that with. But I am very selective by nature. And if you're selective by nature, even if it's from a valid reason like being protective, you will inherently run into issues making friends and stuff like that. So, skill issue, ? Be a man. Don't be man-child. See the issue, acknowledge the issue, put in steps to fix the issue, and finally, fix the issue. You're welcome.
Unless there's an explicit reason for them not to. Just never really had anyone in my life that I can trust a lot. The closest thing I have now is my mods. Like if I'm gonna talk to anyone about anything, it is my mods.
How can you have no one you trust? If there's literally nobody that you trust, there probably is something wrong with you rather than everyone else. You might be kind of a schizo person. I mean, this is just
I would oh god damn it. I would disagree with that inherently. Sorry, I misclicked that. I would disagree with that inherently. I think that the use of sociopath, I think the use of schizo, I do think that that is rather inappropriate. That's my own subjective take on that. That being said, I don't know this individual. I don't know their stance on it. I don't know if this is hyperbolic. I don't know. Like I have inherent issue with that, right? He is correct. I think he is absolutely correct. If you don't have people around you, what do you do, right? What do you, is it a you issue? Well, are you wrong or is the entire world wrong? It's that logic.
With you rather than everyone else. You might be kind of a schizo person. I mean, this is just very sad to listen to.
It's why it's important to treat your friends well by getting them a fume.
Nice. Transition.
Ah, that's the good stuff. 2025 is right around the corner. It is the perfect time to start building better habits. Fume is smokeless, vapeless, and non-addictive. It is just flavored air, the perfect gift for somebody trying to break their bad habit. I use it all the time. You've probably seen it in the background of some of my videos. I like to use it to prevent me from snacking throughout the workday. It is the best adult fidget toy. It's crafted from wood. It has this great weight and this really satisfying stand. It comes in a whole variety of flavors, so there's something for everyone. My favorite is crisp mint, so whenever I'm itching to reach for my bad habit, instead I just play with the fume, get a little stimulant of flavor, and I'm right back to work. So whether you're getting it as a gift for a loved one or for yourself, Fume won't disappoint. So for this holiday season, give the gift of better habits by going to tryfume.com/WillyMac and use code WillyMac or scan the QR code to get a free topper when you sign up for the Journey Pack today. Thank you, Fume, for sponsoring this video.
Whisper in my ear that you want.
Was there audio pollution at the end of that? I thought there was at the end of it, I thought there was a slight, not like static, almost static. I thought there was some audio pollution. I would give it a 9 out of 10. I think that the ad transition was abrupt, but it was great. I think that it was done in a very, very compact time frame, which I also like. Like the visual age with the QR code, I think that's great. Everything is text is thematic and also colorful, right? Using the tryfume.com, using that in the white, and then the green is WillyMac, which is very consistent with his branding. I don't know what pushes it over a 10 out of 10 for me. I don't know if there was audio pollution at the end or not. I mean, everything made sense, you know, present for holiday season, right? I think everything made sense. I liked it. I thought it was a banger ad read. I don't know what pushes it over the edge, though.
Some more and I jizz in my pants.
Dark Viper is passionate about React content. He's made the same video now 9 times. He's mad that I partially cited his essay because that was just a draft script.
He seems blissfully unaware that I finished that draft and made it into a video. He has not seen all these videos.
I've watched all of his videos on this subject. His arguments largely remain the same. Not to mention this document was his magnum opus at the time. It's literally where the 14 pages meme comes from.
14 pages! 14 pages, 14 pages, painstaking detail.
He points to his other work that he wants me to watch, acting like it had all this tangible data.
First video is, why am I here? What am I trying to prove? The second is the main bulk of my work, arguing for the foundations in which I build my arguments, making those arguments. I use a lot of data, I use some animations, and so this ended up being like my main thesis, if you will.
It's just not true. It's the same thing where he claims that people reacting to your videos are exploiting you.
Reactors are playing a game.
He very specifically, once again, officially, by his own words, right? Words as written, that in their own lust for money and power are the very sort of people who would essay somebody. His words, not mine. I don't make the rules. I'm not making this up, fam. He wants to delete it all he can. And this is the thing. People are allowed to change. Absolutely, right? Maybe you make a wrong friend somewhere. Maybe you say something out of line somewhere, right? Sure. This is an escalation. There's different tiers, right? On a tier like 1 through 10, this is like a 9 or a 10, right? 8, 9, or 10, right? Saying something along the lines of like, I don't like this creator, I don't like the hair, I think the hair is smelly. Whatever, right? Kind of like a 1 or a 2, right? Pretty disrespectful, right? If I were to say something along the lines of, you know, I don't like hypothetically, I don't like Willy Mac because, I don't know, he looks like X, right? Whatever, right? Well, I mean, that's kind of rude. Are you also not reacting to his content? I mean, that's kind of like, what, like 4 or 5, depending on what I say, out of 10, right? Going to the essay is like a 9, 8, 9, or 10 out of 10. You don't necessarily come back from that. Don't say the dumb thing. Don't reap those consequences. Consequences being good, bad, and neutral, right?
Our online creator ecosystem where everyone loses except the reactors themselves. The premise of this video is that React content is a system of exploitation that siphons an incalculable amount of money and exposure away from the hardworking into the pockets of the incredibly lazy.
Most content on this website is lazy. Viper struck Chud because Chud reacted to a 9-minute video clip from Viper's live stream. Chud's reaction was a 35-minute video clip from his live stream. Both of you produced equally lazy content. He tries to show that React content is harmful by pulling up a creator named Josh's total view graph, and he applies the
I understand that, and I don't know. So the last I understood, Josh Strife Hayes actually agreed with DarkViperAU on React content. There was, I think it was a old school RuneScape Leagues video where he was talking about this. I would appreciate confirmation or not, because it's actually, as much as I love Josh Strife Hayes' content, his proximity has kind of shifted me away from him. I love his content. I love his breakdown. I love his analytical nature. I love that he has a certain way of talking to people. He does sound like an educator. I think he was an educator, right? Or maybe still is an educator. I love him. Agreeance with DarkViperAU, knowing the essay parts of that argument has definitely shifted me away from it, unfortunately. Where I will absolutely agree. If I were to react to him in a WillyMac's video, right, whether he says, you know, you can react to it or not, and I add maybe 2 minutes and I'm just deadpan staring the entire time, right? I'm just, do you think that's fair? Do you think that's fair to the original creator? If I uploaded this prior to, at minimum, 2 days, 48 hours after initial upload, do you think that's fair? I would disagree. I don't think it's fair. Do you think that it's fair that I can message Terminal Montage? I can message CoffeeZilla. I can message Kyle Hill. Or I can message people, not get a response because they're busy. Obviously, we've talked about this before. And then know that some people, like CoffeeZilla, say, hey, please don't use my wholesale React. Please don't use the video in entirety by itself, right? I literally have the email, and I've cited this email multiple times. But other people, VTubers as well, can just react to his whole videos as they come out, like this. Do you think that's necessarily fair? I think that's subjected into what each creator wants, because there's absolute creators out there, like the Fat Electrician has given his stamp of approval, like, sure, go react to it. Sure, there's some caveats in terms of, like, actually watch the video, actually engage with the video. You'll have creators like Joe Cat, right, who we talked about recently in his Japanese trip reaction, right? I think I doubled the length of that. And, you know, I showcased the tweet on Blue Sky, and I think it was on Twitter too, where, hey, you can react to this. Like I've said, just because somebody gives me the go-ahead to react to it isn't a get-out-of-jail-free card for me. It's not. I still must engage with the content. I still must add what commentary and context that I can, not just to be transformative, but to respect the base work. And now, if somebody doesn't want their content, I've been open 100%. If you don't want me reacting to your content, if you want me to take down content, my reactions are always intrinsic that people are okay with it. I will delete my entire backlog of whoever I react to if that is necessary. Absolutely. Or I'll change something up. Maybe they don't want it full screen. Maybe they want it like not taking up the entire screen. I know Lucy Pyre has said that. Just things you ask and learn, right? So I think that the real question here is, for the people who do actively try with their React content, how do you differentiate them between the people who will just do a strict re-upload, right? How do you know if somebody is allowing their content to be used or not? Like Terminal Montage. I have a theory, and I've asked them, which once again, I've never received a response, that Wolf Glick and many other React creators, as soon as like weeks ago, have reacted to their content and have not been taken down, have not been copyright striked. Meanwhile, I do get a copyright strike by Ian from Forgotten Weapons with, as far as I'm aware, no prior context. I don't have any emails that I've seen, don't have any messages that I've seen, just here's your copyright strike. To which I go, that's fine, I will take down every video. If you want to go the copyrights route, it sounds like you might want to press legal charges against me. Let's open up this dialogue. And I did. I sent an email to Forgotten Weapons saying, hey, I'm just emailing you. I want to make sure I get all the legal notarized documentation from you and your legal team for any action that you may or may not be willing to pursue against me. I've opened up that dialogue. I've been as transparent as possible. This person does not want React content done to them. I have done my part. I've done a lot more than many other creators on this platform, even actual creators, right? When we talk about actual commentary channels and playing Subway Surfers or Black Ops in the background, right, and you're talking about things and they willingly spread misinformation and never come back to it, yeah, I'm doing more than a lot of those people. I have a lot more integrity in a lot of things than some of those people. We should be getting to a point where we're willing to address things like that. And there's absolutely creators who do. They'll go back and say, hey, I was wrong with this, or hey, you know, this thing, right? I think I have far more integrity than someone like Rosanna Pansino, Dogpack404, just making blatant allegations against Mr. Beast for the whole CP thing, right? Well, I allegedly cannot confirm. Then don't say it. Don't make it your thumbnail. I have thoughts and opinions. Look back to the video.
Dips to Asmon reacting to him.
The first 4 reactions seem to have done nothing at all, often preceding dips in viewership. In fact, the period where Josh's channel saw the greatest growth compared to the prior month was in May, and it had no reactions until the end of the month. These late reactions actually occurred prior to a downturn in the channel, and these in the middle did nothing to change its course. This therefore makes it hard to attribute Josh's July success to the reactions, considering that they occur just as much on bad days as they do good.
So here's the thing. Here's how I look at React content, right? It must follow a set time frame, whether that's 2 days, whether that's 4 days. This will be going up 4 calendar days after WillyMacShow. I think we're looking at this in a vacuum when there's multiple parts here. Yes, if you put out a video in, say, June, right? Okay, your video will, for the, first 48 hours approximately, is going to see the bulk of where it's in the algorithm. Whether it's popular, whether it's not, well, you know, the algorithm decides from there, right? And then you have your React content. I use mine as, hey, it's been like 4+ days since this. You should definitely check out this creator. Wink, wink. Whether that works or not, I can't say. I think that we're all, and that's the thing, is if I upload a video, this video today, it has maybe 48 hours in which it actually does its thing, and I will, you know, do what I can to retain as many people as I can to send them over to WillyMacShow, right? Like, there's that 48-hour period. It's odd for me, and I'm assuming anyone else, to see a video get popular out of nowhere. That's not, I mean, it can happen. Absolutely, things do happen. I've had a Russian Badger short that I edited together about the Red Lobster, which I incorrectly cited Lobstoberfest instead of Lobsterfest. It was funny. It was great. I'm embracing it now. And it's got like almost 1 million views, which it just blew up out of nowhere. It can happen, but I think we're looking at this like it's in a vacuum rather than all parts together, right? Just because someone reacts to your content doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy street for you, right? I try to send as many people over to people I react to as I can, but that they also do have to upload and do things. And that's why I advocate strongly for ethics in reactions, making sure we're waiting before doing things like this, right? Making sure we have honestly, I'm growing a master list of creators who don't want their content reacted to or potentially hypocritical in React content, right? That way there's a public list of like, yo, these people have kindly said, or not kindly said, don't react to their content. Now all of us know better. The creator knows better, other reactors know better, you as the viewer know better, and you can spread that information. You see how communication fixes a lot of these issues?
Really interpret is that Asmon's reactions don't lead to a boost in viewership. But then he immediately states that this means Josh is losing views because of Asmon, when there is so many potential variables in this graph he ignored.
While it is hard to know for certain, comparing the day before and the day of a reaction, I'd estimate each reaction gained Josh less than 500 subscribers each. Especially while remembering that Josh is losing views and impressions to Asmongold's business model during this process, you can see that this is not very much.
Now other creators have made similar assumptions when they post a video that underperformed. The Ackman and Internet Anarchist are both creators that have complained about reaction content negatively affecting their videos. But as we all know, correlation doesn't necessarily mean causation, and that's my problem.
Yeah, Dark Viper struggles with that. You're not going to win that one.
With this whole dialogue, it's all based on vibes and people's personal opinions, so I wanted to change that. Since my last Dark Viper video, I linked up with a data analyst named Glisset. We then had the Ackman and Internet Anarchist send us videos that both were and weren't reacted to. Glisset then divided the views per day by the maximum views per day to normalize each data set, and modeled each day as a normal distribution. The final result for Internet Anarchist is this.
So you see the black line there? That's the sort of the average view count of a reacted video. It's dimensionless view count, which effectively means that I've divided it by the maximum view count, which basically just...
So I want to take this moment to bring up, what about the people who are larger, it's a larger group than you think, the people that don't like pausing like this, the people that don't like commentary because of this. You, dear viewer, could click off because I'm pausing too much. We constantly complain about ethical React content, but when we look at it, it seems as a kind of nebulous concept that React content is desired to be. It's not desired to be ethical. It is desired that you fill a parasocial role with you, John Audience Member, and you watch the video together. And you, as John Audience Member, can watch the video in real time as you see a funny little model or funny little dingus or someone on screen react to it. I think that's inherently wrong, and that's why my channel suffers. I am not willing to... Oh, absolutely. It's like having a discussion, a conversation, right? It's person talks, person presents subject. Oh, interesting. Here are my thoughts on the subject, right? But I take time to pause, right? The fact that that is desired to not pause, to just watch and have that parasocial interaction. Parasocial isn't bad. Not saying it's bad. What I am saying is that I feel it's wrong to desire this. We're just going to watch it, live with each other, right? I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair to the original creator. I don't think that's fair to you as an audience member who, hi, John Audience Member, you're a John Audience Member. You just came into the stream or you just came into the YouTube comment section. Hi, how are you, right? And that's the bulk of the interaction. Like, when you're presented with problems like this, and you're presented with even paradoxes of people want more ethical React content, but not ethical React content is what really sees the popularity in the algorithm, right? Like, when you're presented with that, you have to ask why. And I've come to the conclusion it is because people want that parasocial interaction with watching somebody. To which, that is why you'll get comments like, wow, dude pauses way too much. Man, dude yaps way too much. Dude likes the sound of his own voice. Hear me out. Fixing your problem. Stop creating your own problems. Just watch the original video. Plain and simple. Go watch the original WillyMac video. He's going to summarize all these points in much a larger time span. You are coming out to Kip Reacts because you want to parasocialize with the dingus in some capacity. You are wanting, referring to myself in the third person, you are wanting some commentary and insight that I may provide. And we're sitting here for however long of time. That is what Kip Reacts is based on. We're having a discussion. We're taking a piece. We're analyzing the piece. We're providing organic feedback on the piece. And then you come to your own conclusions after with the information provided. That's why. So I guess Kip commentaries would be maybe a better thing, but that's also not correct because I'm reacting to people's content. I'm using their work as a template to formulate thoughts and opinions on.
Makes each video more comparable to each other. Otherwise, you'd have all different lines going all about the place.
These shaded areas are the standard deviations. If the line is in the dark gray area, that is one standard deviation. The light gray is two. The line being within either means there isn't a statistical enough difference in views to say that React content is affecting the work. But if it leaves the shaded areas, that means it's statistically significant. A trend is being formed.
For internet anarchists, there's, I think, most significantly, or I suppose uniquely about internet anarchists sort of situation is that there are regions where that pink line leaves the shaded area. I call that very loosely statistically significant.
When it leaves the shaded area, does that mean the video is doing better, or is it doing worse? What's this?
So if it was above the line, then it would be doing significantly better. But because it's below the line, the unreacted video is doing significantly worse than.
Wow. It's almost like I've homed in on a concept where if I like a channel, I can take their video and go, hey, this is really cool. This person, WillyMacShow, is adding a lot of commentary. He's adding a lot of insight. He's adding a lot of supporting evidence, all of this clip here. He's adding a lot of commentary. He has commentary that I personally do agree with a lot of the time, right? He seems like a very educated and well-spoken person. Wow, interesting. It's almost like I can react to it and say, dear audience member, John Viewer, hey, you should react. You should go to this video. You should go over and watch this original video. And oh, hey, you should also tell other people. You know, maybe this video is awesome. That is a lot of why I do this. Absolutely, there's staple uploads, right? I know that I can react to a habitual line crosser video, for instance, and people will want to watch it generally, right? The drone one kind of tanked, but that's also because I like 3x the video. Like, once again, reasonable for your time frame, right? So yes, I think that this is a great opportunity. Now, obviously, I need to make sure obligations are met. I really don't want to go back up to 3 or 4 videos a day. I'm thankfully down to 1, maybe 2 on the odd day, and that's the ratio that I want so I can work on other projects like clean my room, paint Warhammer 40K, etc., right? But this right here showcases if the unreacted video is in fact the pink line, and the reacted videos are achieving any of these lines, any of these 3 other things, the dark black line, the dark gray, or the light gray. Do you think that React content, if handled properly, like any tool, right, has a potential to help others out? And that being said, this also does go away if a creator specifically says, hey, don't react to my content, right? Perfectly fine. Thank you for at least communicating it. Thank you for reaching out to me and saying, hey, I don't want these reactions up anymore. I don't want these videos up anymore. You know, if you keep it up, absolutely, I'm going to issue a takedown notice, copyright strike. Please take it down. Hey, thank you. Thank you, John Creative, for allowing me the opportunity to take this down. I will take that down immediately. Thank you so much. Awesome. End of the conversation. You've covered all these bases in that single instance.
Reacted video.
When it comes to the Actman, we get different results.
You can see in Actman's case, sort of from this one here, it's a much sort of steeper curve than the case of Internet Anarchist, which makes this sort of analysis a little bit more difficult because noise is a little bit more prevalent, I'd say, when you're dealing with such sort of small numbers towards the end there. But if we sort of zoom in a bit, you can see that pink line always stays within the shaded region.
Yep.
Because it always stays within the shaded region, it's always within 2 standard deviations. And when it stays within that dark grey sort of shaded region, which it does most of the time, that's within 1 standard deviation. And I'd say
so he can look at this and he can organically take in information and go, hey, reactions are hurting my metrics in certain ways. Please don't react to my content. I know for a fact that last I checked, he said Actman has specifically said 4 days, 4 calendar days since the reaction. So he's already made his stance known on it. That being said, once again, if you are a creator and you don't want your content reacted to, just say, fine, don't react to my content. Hey, please don't react to my content. If someone reacts to your content, they're in the wrong. Look, any number of creators who right now on this platform have reacted to CoffeeZilla's videos in their entirety, right? The full video like this and just pausing and adding commentary is in the wrong because CoffeeZilla has very specifically said in an email, do not react to the entire thing. Clips are fine. So, once again, you're technically in the wrong. because you are not respecting the creator's wishes. Well, I didn't know. You know, I don't know how much I buy into that. I don't know how much is I don't know versus how much of it's defensible. I guess in law there's a thing about, you know, you didn't know or reasonably couldn't know, so therefore you can't really be punished for it. But I mean, the fix for that is, hey, creator reaches out, or creator has someone on behalf of them, a collective agency or whatever, reach out, or have your mod team go, hey, type in CoffeeZilla reactions, right, and go through and either copyright those videos or ask to have them taken down. Grats, you have solved the issue.
That's perfectly normal, and based on that, there isn't really an impact of the reaction on the video. Yeah, I'd say sort of if you are to see an impact, it tends to be either in the short term, so say 10 to 30 days, or the medium term, so 30 to about 150 days.
So here's the thing. If we want to collectively, as reactors, wait 30 days, I'm all for that. I don't care. I'm all for it. The issue becomes, I already know that I can't react to certain creators. I know that if I wait over a certain period of time, the video is dead. Now, this is not me excusing that. What I am saying is that how do I physically compete? If say, John Reactor reacts to WillyMacShow right now and uploads it day one, first 24 hours, and he gets all that algorithm traffic, and I upload this 4 days later when, you know, I generally upload things, how is that fair? How is that fair? We all need to be on the same page. We all need to be held to a standard, right? If we want to wait 30 days, sure, I'm all for that. And then you can start prepping and doing things and making a better reaction even. But you need to make sure that it's fair so that the people who react to first 24 hours or first 48 hours, you need to make sure that they're considered in that as well. You can't beat up on the people who are trying to be ethical and trying to be the difference consistently and reward behavior that goes against what you're wanting. You see how that's just paradoxical logic?
The conclusion is that there is no measurable impact for Actman, while Internet Anarchist does seem to benefit at times.
I'd say this at least speaks to, because a lot of this has been done on sort of commentary creators, I think this at least gives a decent idea of how this works in the commentary space. Mm-hmm. I think I'd be fairly confident in saying that for the average commentary creator, the being reacted to doesn't really make a difference in your video performance. The only statistically significant finding we were sort of able to find in this case was Internet Anarchist, and I'd limit that to saying that only in Internet Anarchist case could there be the compelling case that there is a significant benefit to being reacted to.
Now, is it like this for every creator and every reaction video on YouTube?
No.
No, these are two creators' data. It's a relatively small sample size, and the genre of video as well as the quality of reaction may affect the videos differently. Point is, there's a...
Yes. Oh my god. I love citing this. We'll make longer reactions, right? Longer reactions equals good, right? So let's go to my channel, right? Let's go to Kip Reacts. Let's look up Helldivers too, right? Badger's Helldiver video, right? If we look at my reaction to Badger's Helldiver video, 2 hours, 26-minute runtime, 25K views. I put in 2.5 hours for a reaction, and it doesn't perform. So length doesn't necessarily mean good, right? It's a balancing act, right? If I were to make this video 4 hours in a reaction, am I transformative? Arguably. Do you want to watch it? Most likely not. Do you see how there's a balancing act, right? Yes, the quality of the reaction does matter. What the reactor says in it does matter as well. And ultimately, yes, the copyright holder or the original author of the work of the video does hold ultimate authority over what can and can't happen with their content, right? WillyMacShow right now has every opportunity, every ability to tell me, do not react to my content again. Take down your reactions, right? Is he going to? I'm not saying that he will, right? But what I'm saying is that that is just an inherent understanding. So when I do cite like, hey, Forgotten Weapons filed this copyright strike, understand that I've already taken that into account. And what I'm specifically saying is, hey, I'm being transparent. Don't react to this person. This person doesn't want to be reacted to. This is the action they took against me. Do what you will with this information, right? I'm not call to actioning anybody. I'm not saying really anything about that other than this happened. I've reached out to them saying, hey, where's your legal paperwork? You know, these kinds of things, right? I'm just being transparent and communicating so that other people know, hey, don't react to this person. Almost like you're making the space better by just communicating.
ton of variables.
It's so funny because he fucking hated people reacting to his videos when we were talking to him.
Well, it is, and that's the power of an intuitive model. If it's no good sort of saying, oh, that makes sense, therefore it must be true.
So here's the thing, and that's the thing. I will absolutely take down, I know I have a couple reactions to Internet Anarchist. I didn't know this information. If he wants me to take it down, I'll absolutely take down my reactions. I would ask, however, how, and that's the thing, I would love an organic discussion about this. If I were to take it down, and I'm absolutely willing to take him down, 100%, especially if you're against React content to your content, why are there so many other channels that do have reactions that don't seem to be affected? I'm sure I could search right now, and I'm sure there's a bunch of VTubers with it, right? Once again, that fairness factor, I'll do it. That's not in question. How is this going to be fair, though? I'm all for creators saying, no, do not react to my work. But when there's stuff that seeps through the cracks, like VTubers, other people reacting to Terminal Montage, when very specifically in their Patreon Q&A, do not react to our content. Email us with violations of this, and then you email them a brick of, hey, people are reacting to your content. What's going on? Did you give them authority to react, a privilege to react to this? What's going on? And you don't get answered. You see how that's frustrating? You see how it feels like it's very easy to kick React creators and React channels, but when it comes down to, okay, but how do you fix this issue? It feels like it's just like trying to push a brick wall. And once again, absolutely, being of a certain size, I understand things getting lost in the inbox. When you're actively trying to do something and it feels like bad behaviors are getting rewarded, and trying to be ethical, trying to ask questions, trying to do what you can to make the sphere better is getting met with nothing but resistance, and you're limited on who you can react to because you've asked, that's a problem to me. So let's all communicate. Let's get on the same page.
You really do have to sort of, I guess, r/do the math. I'd say do this on a case-by-case basis. I mean, this is sort of standard procedure in sort of copyright. Always analyze things case by case. Conclusions here in the commentary space, probably not going to affect your video, but I would be interested in seeing sort of how this varies sort of space by space, and maybe seeing some data from some, gaming channels like speed running or
what Viper does.
Yeah, because obviously I'd expect the dynamics to be slightly different because you're watching the videos for slightly different reasons.
So my point is, before we start a crusade against an entire genre of creators saying they're exploiting people, let's actually take some time and analyze some data.
Looking at the bigger picture here, this drama's been going on for 4 years. And it's still every now and then resurfaces. Eventually, this is going to have to be sort of put to bed sort of thing, because I don't think it's going on for 4 years. It's not necessarily a productive use of everyone's time, especially when the big conclusion here, I think, is that it doesn't matter and it doesn't make a difference. Reaction videos don't look like they have any sort of impact on video's performance, and therefore, I'm not really sure why people care quite so much.
Bro, you've been
Sure, I can agree with it. I can get behind that. That's also one thing with the caveat. If a creator doesn't want their content reacted to, if they feel disrespected, if they just don't want it, sure, don't react to them. And make it known, hey, in a obviously non-offensive way, right? Hey, this person doesn't want their videos reacted to. Make sure other people know. Once again, I try to signal boost the CoffeeZilla thing as much as I can. Signal boost Terminal Montage on their live Q&A, or their Patreon Q&A, right? Do not react to our content. I have an announcement up in the Discord about it, right? I'm trying to signal boost as many things as I can as I come across it. Forgotten Weapons. Don't react to Forgotten Weapons. They don't want you reacting to their content. I got a copyright strike because of it, right? Not necessarily knocking them for the copyright, even though it is the nuclear option. What I am saying is I am signal boosting this. Let's work together, right? If WillyMacShow right now said, I don't want you to react to my content. Hi, thank you. Let's communicate this. I know it's hard for people to talk to each other. I understand it, but man, we gotta go somewhere.
Covering this topic for 3 years, how is this the first data analysis that's been done? He acts like this is a case-closed argument for him. I bring up my own personal experience with React content, and he compares it to playing slot machines. My personal experience, because that's all we can go off of.
What do you mean that's all we can go off of? This man is literally all we have is personal anecdotes. There is
his mic, he needs to soundproof his room. His mic is really echoey. His mic is less warm, and it definitely feels a little more echoey. I don't know, just one of those things that, like, in terms of if I were to react to somebody, that is definitely a factor, because I'm not super enjoying his mic. The experience is lesser because he does not have a fine-tuned mic.
Reason why we judge systems in their totality, not simply like people's interactions with them, but thinking about the process by which they do things. A person can walk up to you and say, hey, I want $1,000 on a slot machine. You can look that person dead in the eye and say, that's great, but slot machines are a terrible way to make money. And they goes, well, but Frank over there won 10 grand. Yes, that's amazing, but still a terrible way to make money.
Sure. Hear me out. Slot machines are a terrible way to make money. Get bent. I have 10 grand and you don't, and you walk away. Once again, looking at things in vacuums when there's other things, right? Let's go back to high school. How do you do an experiment? You form your hypothesis, right? You do your funny little testing, you come to your conclusion. Does your conclusion match your hypothesis, right? But if you're doing an experiment, what do? Oh, right. You limit the variables to get the most accurate testing. Once again, like, dude, I can't. It's too easy. It feels like I'm honestly punching down at this point.
Machines are statistically rigged by design. That's a fact. You have no facts. You have no data suggesting that React content is the same way. I was going to make a video whether Dark Viper responded to me or not because I want this dialogue to be productive. Let's go get a data analyst, talk to Glisset, see how they mapped it, and compare Josh's reacted to his unreacted to video so we can build a data set.
He does put in quite a lot of effort in terms of trying to assign numbers to these things. I just think when he's tried to assign numbers, they haven't necessarily been, they don't really mean anything. So he goes on, for instance, total view count. Well, total view count is entirely dependent on how old the video is. It doesn't necessarily tell you anything about how a React video has actually impacted the video. And then we sort of saw slightly more sophisticated techniques when we went to sort of Nakrit's sort of analysis. To be fair to Nakrit, I mean, it slightly worked in the cases that he analyzed, but when you sort of broaden that theory, it starts to break down.
Well, here's the cool part, though. You've explained how you've done it. You said that it really isn't that complicated if people want to get into it. It's a high school level thing. So if Dark Viper wants to, he could go collect data. I got a ton of creators that would love to participate. If he wants to do the same thing, he could test it himself.
Certainly. So
wow. Or hear me out. He can just go pay a data analyst, right? It's like if I have a legal question. Hi, you're John Lawyer watching me. If I have a legal question, hi, I'm very curious about the legal interaction between this and existing copyright. Well, you know, that is technically my job as John Lawyer. You know, I want to make sure that you're receiving the best service possible. Let's get you for an appointment. Oh, you mean I have to pay for this? Yes, you have to pay for this. This is a service that I offer. This is literally my job. That's the one. Oh my God. So you're saying he could just pay the data analyst to do this for him and go, hi, I am John DarkViperAU. I have paid a data analyst for this conclusion. I have spent money. I spent this much money for this conclusion. Enjoy. Wow, he spent money to get a professional to do the work. Interesting. But clearly that's not happening. Clearly he either just doesn't want to or has a lack of desire to do so. Like, even if it's simple, like, people don't generally work for free. That's not how that works. Or alternatively, yes, do it yourself. If it's truly that easy and high school level and you can cite all your work, do it yourself. Grats.
I mean, sort of the more stuff we analyze, the better picture we actually have of this. Previously, before, people just looking at graphs and going on vibes, that's not rigorous. That's overlooks some pretty basic maths.
But Dark Viper's problem with React content isn't that it necessarily hurts the original video, it's that it takes away viewers from all content, completely unrelated videos.
Again, to be clear, the lion's share of what I talk about has nothing to do with the impact of the re-upload on the original. And what time I spend on that is largely because other people care about it. We have YouTube, with the best algorithm that's ever been made for distributing content ever. And there are no reactors.
I think that's a contentious statement factually. I also love that this is what we're crusading against, rather than literally last night saw a subscription service that you can input a text prompt in to AI generate a YouTube short. We're not gonna talk about that one. This is where we're gonna stand on. We're not gonna talk about AI that can be awake 24/7. I have to sleep, contrary to popular belief. I cannot physically compete with the output or the hours that an AI streamer or YouTuber can put out. That's just not something that I can do. And even YouTube has the whole tagging thing. We have to tag, you know, all AI content and stuff like that, or altered content, right? Like, this is the one. This is the tism that we're going with. This is the flavor, like fat electrician communism, right? Or habitual line crosser missiletism. This is the tism we're going with on YouTube. I think that it's addressing correct things in the incorrect ways. I think that transformative React content should be rewarded, but then again, we see in the algorithm that things like Sniper Wolf just consistently perform. Sure, it performs. I can't change that. You can't change that. People really can't change that. That's just what the algorithm wants to push to people. It is going to see success. What I do is a niche. I am a niche of a niche of a niche. I am a male VTuber. I do React content, and I pause and actually add commentary. I am so niche, it's not even funny. And that directly shows why people can start after me and have exponentially higher... Like that's just the business. That's just how that works.
Currently, in this hypothetical world. So viewers go to YouTube, and the smartest algorithm that has ever existed tries to direct them to content that they want to watch and will watch long term. 100% of the exposure on the platform is going to creators. I ask you, how much of this exposure should we take away and give to reactors to grow them an audience? 100%? So that they can then act as a middleman for that exposure to creators. The click-through...
He's trying to... I understand where he's coming from the logic. The thing is that advertisers are also a thing, and I don't know if he addresses it or not. If there is a WillyMacShow video, right? 45 minutes, 17 seconds. And I were to make it an hour and 17 seconds, 15 minutes longer, because it is longer, the way I understand it is that because it is longer and more ads can be placed on the video, it will try to default to that. But at the same time, if people aren't watching the reactions, and dear God, watching the original video, does it matter? If people don't click on a video, if people don't give it traction, as it turns out, it doesn't take off. From his own channel, right? Did we not see a video with like 200,000 views and then another that was like 70,000 or something like that? As it turns out, not every video is going to be a 1 or a 2 out of 10 in your YouTube studio. That's not realistic. That's not how that works. That is so line go up mentality.
Rate from YouTube itself to a video is like 5%. A click-through rate from a reactor to the original video is like 0.5% and confers no watch time. And
you got a source on that? You got citation? Do you have any sort of evidence? What's your sample size? What's the credibility of your sample size? All questions that need to be asked. You should be showing citations right now. There is no reason to not show citation when, once again, this is your stance. You have zero platform or reason to show, to speak on this without any sort of citation and concrete evidence. I will absolutely put that forward 100%.
Has all the other added costs that people have to spend time watching the reaction video itself, limiting the amount of content they can even watch from creators.
I get you, but you're discounting that the viewers count the reactor as a real creator. Hassan's viewers don't want to watch me. They want to watch Hassan respond to me. They want Tom's.
What? What, you mean that they want that parasocial interaction with their favorite streamer and or YouTuber and or reactor to watch the content with them? Where have you heard that before? Weird.
Or Nick's or H3's or Asmon's opinion. If they edited their reactions down, I'm not convinced it would have any measurable impact on the creator economy like Viper implies. Maybe it would, but without running tests or getting data, you're just throwing out theories.
Each of these YouTubers and Asmon Gold are attempting to attract to themselves viewers from the same general finite markets. Who is more likely to end up with the most at the end of the week? Do you think individual YouTubers would benefit more or less if Asmon Gold wasn't a reactor? Not just the people he steals videos from, but everyone else in the market, as his goal is not just to steal viewers away from those he reacts to, but everyone in general, as he can just as easily steal someone away from any of us as he can the people he reacts to.
And to that, I don't care. If your video gets beat out by a React creator and your video isn't the one being reacted to, womp womp. I can't believe I have this opinion. Don't care.
Again, his argument. I don't care. That's it. And newsflash, in every single situation where a negative externality has been caused, impacting someone outside the original exchange, there is always going to be people who don't care. In fact, with...
Wow, as it turns out, people don't care. The amount of things that people have tried to talk to me about and be screechy about online, that I just don't care. Wow, what a novel concept. You mean that there's better uses of your time than screeching about something? Or trying to hyperfixate on one specific thing, and people are, dare I say, allowed to have their own opinions, desires, needs, wants, etc. And hey, I don't want to deal with this. I'm going to do this other thing. Wow. You mean that people are allowed to be people? No, surely not.
Every harm that has ever happened in the history of mankind, someone hasn't cared.
But you don't even know if they were harmed.
It doesn't matter. Your indifference to harm doesn't make it less impactful or potentially less meaningful to other people.
Bro, it's me giving my opinion. We don't have the data to discuss this further in a productive way, so
Yeah.
I don't care. I am agreeing to disagree with you, something you should learn how to do too.
Oh, so I actually have a really good parallel for this. So hear me out, right? So multiple worlds theory and stuff like that, right? Living in a simulation and stuff like that. It's all hypothetical quantum physics stuff, right? If somebody goes, oh yeah, we're just living in a simulation, or watching a video and it's like, well, we're living in a simulation, or we're going to talk about the hypothetical tachyon particle, right? I know, term has gone over a lot of people's names, right? Or a lot of people's heads. It goes over my head. But that's my point. Okay, can you like explain what a tachyon is? Can you explain why tachyons can potentially time travel back to the point where we have tachyon readers, right? Can you explain that to me? No, but tachyons can do this hypothetically, and this would make sense that we're living in a simulation. So can you prove it? It's one thing to, because I've been on a huge science binge recently. I absolutely love science. I don't understand a lot of it, right? Like the omega point came up recently. I'm like, I have no idea what this is. This is interesting. Or the universal constants. Like there's constants, there's things that come up to me and I'm like, I have no idea how to solve this. I have no idea how to approach this, right? So I'm sorry, I got tismed into science. The parallel I was going with is I don't really have those conversations if I don't know, if I'm not familiar enough with the subject, right? If we want to talk about React content, sure, I'm familiar enough with it. I feel I can have an educated discussion on the topic. If we want to talk about tachyons and time travel, has the other party just read a funny article somewhere? Did they just look at a couple of YouTube videos? Or are they actually a scientist that can do the calculations to break down why tachyons and time travel are concepts inherently linked to each other, right? Or, has done the math on why the multiple worlds theory works, where, any action is split into multiple realities, right? Because it's very easy for someone to just say, oh, this, right? Okay, what's your source? What's your evidence? Oh, here's my evidence. It shows literal page of mathematics. Oh, okay. You're qualified to talk on this. Yeah, let's have a discussion, right? Versus, you don't have any evidence? Sure, I guess I could see that. I'm gonna go do some work, or I'm gonna go play some 40K or Pokemon or something. I don't know. I don't really care, right? Like, but there's also a give and take, right? In conversations, because I definitely fall guilty of this. I effectively use my conversations like a paper, like a paragraph, like a paper, right? I will cite like we've done this entire video. Oh, you mean this argument? Normal people, average people don't do that. They might reference something, but generally they have a back and forth without having to provide citations and stuff. It's alien to me, but I'm also neurospicy, so it's But like, that's the parallel I'm going with here, right? Like, there's not the evidence, so clearly the logical conclusion would be for DarkViper to do the math himself, or to hire a data analyst or whoever to get that data for him, right? Wow, weird. You don't have the data and you want to screech about this? Cool. I don't care. I'm not going to watch it. Like, I don't really care. There's nothing to be gained here. There's nothing productive. I'm going to much rather watch more videos on tachyons and time travel and, the hypothetical situations regarding that from people who this is kind of my field of study. Yeah, these are the mathematical equations. However, there's this fault in this. This can be easily done, overruled if this other thing happens, right? Wow. Weird that I like when people actually bring resources and citations to the table and prove, hi, this is my thing. I am John Scientist. I can talk to you about hypothetical tachyons and time travel. Weird.
He frames me as the evil man, exploiting other creators for personal gain.
At the end of the day, what Willy wants is to people have no rights over their work. No rights, no permission, no compensation. You work for free for WillyMacShow, that's it. It's a garbage perspective.
But I don't even make that kind of React content. In Viper's world, I am the ultimate victim, constantly getting exploited. My videos compete with Chud's, Nick's, and Tom's reactions all the time. I have the most to gain from reaction content being banned, but since I demand evidence of harm, that makes me evil for some reason. Apparently, I'm the Uncle Tom of React content. We've pretty much maxed out the conversation when it comes to React content, so I want to turn our attention to the eternal victim that is DarkViper.
Like, wow! I'm a troubled soul. I'm living in a studio flat that's covered in mold.
Dude, I'm ready. I'm ready for this chronicle. I've been watching a bunch of Simon Whistler recently. His breakdowns on how we got from point X to point Y. Man, I'm ready.
There are times where he says I'm taking him out of context, and then he plays a longer version of the same clip, and it has the same exact context. All React content makes you a bad person, not that it's necessarily illegal.
You are taking that guy's 500 hours of labor in order to take all these impressions, and therefore viewers, from every other content creator. If you
So I talked about this in a recent Russian Badger reaction, right? I literally talked about this, and I talk about it every Maxor video. I talk about this every video generally that I can. It is easy for me to sit here and critique a work. It is easy for me to sit here and engage with the work, to pause occasionally to make sure that I'm talking and engaging with the work. It is not easy for someone like Russian Badger to edit over that amount of time. It's not easy for someone like Maxor to edit over the amount of time that he does, right? I want to make sure that these creators are rewarded. I definitely take that into account when I react to something. Even then, animators, right? In general, I don't like reacting to animators, not because I don't like their work, right? Using terminal montage here again, but it's because a lot of animators do view it as, they don't want it for various reasons. And that's fine. They're allowed to not want that. Like we've stated again and again and again and again, right? Reinforcing that principle. So these are things you just take into account. And yes, if you react to something and you add, maybe 2 minutes of staring at the screen and occasionally chuckling, sure, I think we can argue objectively that's pretty bad, right? However, that is also discounting the creator's own desires and own wishes if people are fine with it. But even then, they can also be fine with it subjectively. If I uploaded the same exact video at 45 minutes and 17 seconds, and sure, I was on the screen, but I did nothing to add to the content, yeah, maybe WillyMacShow would be like, yo, hey, don't do that. Probably not the best, right? Probably don't do that. Sure, completely reasonable. We've already exceeded this by 15 minutes and we're not even halfway through the video. You're welcome.
to disappear, everyone would be better off. However, all original content creators have just as much right to be in this space as anyone else.
No one's arguing that. What?
Actors don't. I'm pretty sure that's cropped off.
The creator saw my reaction to it and was really disappointed. They didn't appreciate it, and I totally understood where they're coming from because I didn't really add anything to it. I didn't really react to it, so to them it felt like I was just re-uploading their content on my stream.
Because that's what you're doing. Even when you pause and speak, the amount of effort you're putting in is a tiny, tiny fraction of what the original content creator put in place.
Sure. Once again, not arguing that people like Max or Fat Electrician, Russian Badger, I could name all day, right? Who is discounting this point, right? You're quite literally arguing like water is wet. Sure, yeah, it's wet. I don't think anybody's discounting that creators put time into their work. It's why it should be respected. Like, is that it? Is this just a one-dimensional screeching point? Like, is what?
500 hours making YouTube video, you spend 15 minutes watching it, and you believe you deserve to profit off that $500 worth of labor? As a multi-millionaire, you don't believe you owe that guy one single fucking dollar?
Chat, I'm a millionaire? Where did this come from? Man, I'm pretty sure I'm in debt. I don't know what he's talking about. Does he have a source on my finances? Does he have my credit card statements? Does he have my, he have my account information? Did I give him my funny little three numbers on the back of my credit card? Like, what? Bro, where's this $1 million? How I'm a millionaire? I didn't know that, bro. I'm a millionaire. Dude, I'm just figuring this out as well. You know what? I'm going to go to Germany. That's going to happen. If I'm a millionaire, I'm going to take a flight to Germany right now. I'm going to drink myself under the table, which equates to approximately a quarter of a beer stein. It's going to be great, dude. Wow, I'm apparently loaded. I didn't know this, man. I'm just figuring this out.
On what basis? Without his labor, you'd have to turn off your stream because you'd have nothing else to watch. You'd have...
Let's do the funny. Let's do the funny. We're doing the funny, chat. We're doing the funny. Oh, you mean how we go to my homepage? And sure, I have 1.3K React videos at the time of this video. Oh, you mean I have other channels? And sure, Tacticip has a lot of React content on it, but let's go to my VOD channel, right? Oh, you mean I have videos of Fallout New Vegas? We finished our playthrough of Star Wars Force Unleashed. Our playthrough of Resident Evil 7 is ongoing right now, featuring waifu model. I've played through the entirety of Final Fantasy 14 in VOD format from like the last part of A Realm Reborn through Dawn Trail 7.1. Oh, I'm sorry, guys, but I'm sorry. Space Marine 2 with Waifu Kip? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. You don't have anything else to watch, right? You guys don't have anything else to watch.
Less uploads on your channel. Those people who aren't on your stream would go to other content creators. The people who can no longer watch your React content would watch other content creators, wherever they would be found. You are...
They do anyways. What is he on about? If you don't like an Asmongold reaction, if you don't like a Maya reaction, if you don't like a Smuggalana reaction, if you don't like... there's a number of other reactors out there, right? They're just gonna watch it, right? The amount of people... Okay. 25,000 views, right? 25,000 views for a 2.5-hour Russian Badger video, right? Keep that number in mind, right? The Russian Badger Helldivers 2 reaction. See, we're doing the 2-second Google test here, right? Oh, hey, look, 20. Hey, I love their model. Their model looks really cool. Never seen them before. Hour 52 minutes, 4 months ago, 25,000 views, right? Surviving and flipping a coin by the Chill Zone reaction, 46,000 views, right? Wow. It's almost like if people don't like a reaction, they will just watch another reaction, preferably one that is shorter by literally a full hour. 1 hour 33 versus 226, right? Like 50 minutes to 60 minutes shorter. Wow. That's just how that works. Man, you know what happens if you have a speed run, but then you don't become a speed run? Like that loses its record? People just watch the new speedrun because they want the tech. They want the strat, right? Like, I feel like this is just complaining about how YouTube works, which he unironically says has the best algorithm ever. Like, what?
Taking that guy's 500 hours of labor in order to take all these impressions and therefore viewers from every other content creator. If you were to disappear, everyone would be better off. And that is the case actually for any content creator.
My bad. I'm gonna go jump off my roof now, guys. Not really. This is clearly a joke. Does this count as a malicious threat? Does this like when if you tell someone unironically to KYS, would this count? Does that actually count? I don't think so. I think we're grasping at straws here. Effectively, what he just said, summarizing, he effectively just told us to KYS. So cool. I'm gonna add that to the pile of this, right? I'm gonna add that to the pile of I apparently live to exploit others, their labor and careers, in my own lust for money and power, because I'm the very sort of person who would definitely SA somebody, as someone who's been through SA myself, who knows other people who are still traumatized by SA, who doesn't wish this on even Dark Viper. But, my bad, bro. I'm gonna go KMS now. Sorry, guys.
There'd be less competition in the marketplace. If all content creators disappeared except me, you can better believe my viewership would go up. However, all original content creators have just as much right to be in this space as anyone else. Reactors don't. All reactors do is sit and steal from the original content creators. They siphon exposure via impressions to themselves, keep people on their channels instead of other people's, and they flick a few every once in a while to someone else. So that section also is deceptively edited.
I very factually send people to... Oh, boy. Okay, so let's go down once again to the dichotomy of my actual video, right? We're going to go to channel. We're actually going to go to the last WillyMacShow video. Because reasons, right? Show. God, that's old Kip. So we're going to go to WillyMacShow, right? Dark Truth, Mr. Beast caught lying, etc. This exact video, right? So actually, no. Let's go to his old DarkViperAU won't stop, right? 14 pages. DarkViperAU won't. So I start a video off every single video with the title, DarkViperAU won't stop. From reacts, debates to lolcow. Kip reacts to WillyMacShow. You have the title. You have the who I'm reacting to in the title. You have who I'm reacting to at the beginning of the video. I cite every single video. This is in my description. It exists. Original channel, WillyMacShow. Original channel link. Click on that. WillyMacShow. Original video. DarkViperAU won't stop. Skull emoji from react debates to lolcow. Original video link. Click it. DarkViperAU won't stop from react debates to lolcow. Literally the link there. That is a factually, provably wrong statement. But well, Kip, you're one of the only ones that does. I'm not the only one that does this. Look up anyone else. We literally went through, what was it, Smuggalana's clips recently. They have there's stuff linked in the description, right? Factually, provably wrong? Oh, well, that's just an outlier. Then don't make such a grandiose, all-encompassing statement, right? Let's say things that are actually correct.
No, it wasn't. That's the same thing. I'm arguing with Autismo. I ask again, what context was changed? Viper is constantly calling me a liar. His examples are pointing out when I misspeak.
14 pages!
14 pages! He's using a soundbite of one of the most traumatic, angry moments of my entire life. It's 14 pages!
A problem which you created yourself because you want to say hyperbolic statements in inappropriate statements like this. Actual skill issue. Stop creating your own problems.
So here you can see an example where Willy will just play something and then directly lie about what was just said. While he is taking these clips out of context, not explaining why they exist or what the point of them was, even
Don't ask, didn't care. I obviously like that WillyMacShow provides these. It's honestly funny.
in that clip I said, one of the most traumatic moments of my life. He's using a soundbite of one of the most traumatic, angry moments of my entire life. He says, most traumatic moment of his life, which is not what I said.
He's arguing with the text on the screen. He says I'm lying because Ethan didn't traumatize him. Charlie did.
That is not at all what I said. You can note here that Willy's claim is that H3H3 spamming this clip for years was traumatic for me. But then he showed a...
Dude, it's so funny. It's like the Final Fantasy 14 tail thing. Looked at Yugiti's aura tail, and chat was just like, man, Kip loves them tails. And I'm like, oh no. Still gets memed on. As it turns out, don't do the thing. It's funny. It's really funny, though.
Where I specifically didn't say that. I called my interactions with Charlie years ago traumatic, and they were.
Don't admit that, bro. The point is that this shouldn't traumatize you. I point out his history of spurging out over nothing, and he brings up dates. Like, yeah, Matt, the dates are why people are calling you cringe.
One of the hallmarks of Willy's video, and that showcases him as a grifter, is he uses out-of-context clips that have no relevance to anything all throughout the video. Spamming.
Have you considered in your entire arguments of saying, well, you know, I'm sure the argument has come up where, you know, well, you could just copyright these creators, right? Maybe WillyMacShow is using specific clips on purpose to get across the full point, because clearly what you're saying is still the context. The context really hasn't changed, but it also limits if you potentially try to DMCA him, right? Wow. That'd be kind of weird. It would make a lot of sense. Or WillyMacShow is just an absolute G and just doesn't care. Which is, what a cool dude. Well, like, respect people, obviously. So long as they show that they are worthy of respect, right? If somebody absolutely comes out the gate and calls me an absolute autistic spurgler that should go KYS, right? Yeah, that was rude. I'm not going to pay attention to you. I'm going to go this way now. Wow. What a weird, reasonable concept.
As I say, it doesn't matter how old the clip is, Willy knows that if he doesn't say what date it is, people will just assume it happened very recently. This clip, for example, is 4 years old, but he is even more dishonest than that. He uses clips far older, 6, 7 years old in this video.
The point is to show...
Okay. Once again, this was what, 3 years ago? This was February 7th, 2022. Man, still pretty relevant. You tried to redact it, right? Like we showed earlier in the video. Clearly, this is still a thing, right? You don't quite walk that off, my guy.
That throughout your career, you turn small disagreements and inconveniences into massive crash-out moments for yourself. You have a pattern of behavior. Ethan plays a meme soundbite on his podcast, and he's a sick individual.
14 pages! As someone who has been incessantly harassed by him for years in front of thousands, he is one of those truly deserving of being driven off the internet. I don't know how...
Wow. He's advocating for deplatforming? Wow, that's a really unpopular opinion. Wow. You're saying if you have an unpopular opinion, you're going to get pushback? Weird.
Sick of an individual you have to be to do something like this? Like, if he was using it in some wholesome way, or shouting me out in some positive way, fine, but he's just using it to mock me.
Good. Rydog trolls a speedrunning forum, and Matt is suffering.
Why must my life suffer?
Why must your life suffer? That's my prime example. This is going to be my default. This is going to be my canned response. This is going to be my canned response anytime someone asks that, or anytime he asks this. Because it's not funny. No one should ever have to go through those actions. No one should ever have to be subject to that.
Why must I suffer so with no one caring for so long? This man has gone out of his way to insult me at every turn to make my life worse.
Have you not been insulting other people? Those in glass houses.
I have not felt depression like I have experienced because of Rydog since I was a teenager.
Welcome to the club! I live in depression. I live in existentialism. Inevitable heat death of the universe, iron stars, black holes, just completely just disintegrating because of Hawking radiation. Bro, I'm ready for it. You know, in whatever exponent year that takes place, man. Welcome to the club. A lot of us are depressed. Some of us have spicy depression. It's called living with it. It's called developing coping strategies. It's called dealing with it. You know, fixing the issue. Wow, what a weird... Bro. It's okay. Like, it's okay. It's okay to not feel well. Okay, it's okay to feel depressed. Like, hey, hi chat. I'm not feeling super good today. I'm kind of depressed. I'm not going to stream. Okay, cool. Hi Kip. Thanks for letting us know. We're gonna watch someone else tonight. Yeah. Hope you have a good day. Right? Well, you have depression. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the family, son.
The thought of living in this world where a single man can cause me so much suffering and people defend his right to do it, I just don't want to live in this world anymore.
What? Welcome to people. Welcome to humanity. That's how people work. DarkViperAU tomorrow could make a video saying that I am the worst human being ever, that I'm definitely taking this thing out of context, and how his audience, once again, right, let's go over to Twitter, where his audience, he doesn't engage. He deleted his engagement because I know he said he just wanted his piece. Honestly, can't think of another reason why people do react content other than being an easy way to gain views. And it's disgusting that people are leeching off others to that degree. Typo, by the way. You're only allowed to have an opinion if you can spell the opinion. React content creator. Now it's an oxymoron. I was in this engaging. Yeah. Notice who wasn't. Stream example, yes, that's why it's hyperbole. Comes a concept that isn't wrong in the slightest. The 90% of React content always be theft, most lazy, unoriginal. I try to be that 1%, okay? Fair enough, reasonable. Like, just... You mean that Dark Viper could make a video tomorrow over this? Try to ruin my career? Wow. So the thing he's complaining about, he'll do? How is that fair? It's almost like we've said before, people don't necessarily have an issue with personalities as much as they do, oh god, what's the concept? Where you say one thing but mean another thing. It's not paradoxical. Oh my god. Not disingenuity. I have the word on the tip of my tongue. It's not being consistent, right? The word will come to me. I don't remember what it is offhand. But yeah, doing one thing, hypocrite. Thank you. Hypocrisy. Yeah, being a hypocrite. People generally have issues with people being hypocrites. Do not complain about this. When you yourself, are you not trying to ruin H3H3 by trying to deplatform him? Was that not a thing you said? Those in glass houses.
What did he do? He lied to the moderators and he removed his own speedruns, shut down a category, and doesn't turn on his FPS limit. What a bad guy. Matt's like, but this guy pulled a coup. It was a reasonable response.
This clip is so old, it's entirely possible that someone lied to Willy and Willy just repeated that lie because he just doesn't care what's true. Maybe he himself isn't lying. He might just be ignorant in this specific case. The person he's speaking about is Rydog, who was so disruptive as a non-speedrunner of GTA 5 at the time that we made an entire Discord specifically so we could have moderation tools to deal with him. He was literally the first person ever banned in that Discord, and he has stayed banned for 7 years. The man quite literally pulled a coup and got every moderator removed from the speedrun.com leaderboards. Do you know how many coups there have been in the history of speedrunning? Probably not many.
Bro, that's hilarious. You can't even admit one time.
Probably not many. That's the point you're gonna go with? Requires citation, my guy.
That he's overreacting. A speedrunner named Friendly Baron slates Matt over the rules, and Matt is losing sleep over it. He made a 3-part video series because a speedrunner named Friendly Baron shit-talked how he ran the forum.
Frankly, I'm afraid I'll come off as petty at this point, but I literally can't fucking sleep. I need more closure.
I'm Dark Viper. I'm 5 seconds behind after 4 minutes. I'm gonna reset.
Fuck the chopper.
Dead, gonna reset like Dark Viper.
This is keeping you up?
But I keep getting sent these clips, man. He keeps being an asshole. I don't like Baron. He seems to be a terrible person.
Over this? He didn't do anything. I said a speedrunner beat Matt in a category, so he banned him from his Twitch chat and cries on Reddit about how his life is worse. I have known for quite some time that other people were doing runs off this category. People that could run from dawn till dusk. People that had no reason to be entertaining, had fewer obligations, fewer distractions. Sharing information with these people is almost entirely one-sided, or at least everything I developed for the run was public knowledge. But the inverse was not true. The result was that anyone running alongside me was getting far more information. What sort of response did you expect from me? A hug? Your success does me no favors. On the contrary, it makes my life considerably worse, with the added fun that I will have to field questions about this.
Humanity.
You know, I write paragraphs. At least I don't write these kinds of paragraphs. These are brain rot.
Society is a give and take relationship, and I've experienced a massive take with no give. And people seem to be confused as to why I'm not a fan of this. When I say he has made my life worse, measurably so. I was the only person who could have benefited significantly from doing this first. But not only that, failing to do this will now impact the rest of my career.
Matt thinks the missing context that will vindicate him is that Unnamed hadn't speedrun a category before beating him.
Again, it's amazing. He said so few words, but every single word is wrong. He knows nothing about me, or my career, or the people involved.
So, hear me out. Just seeing this statement, I'm referencing this a lot because he tried to delete it. Yeah, people don't like censorship. People don't like when you try to redact stupid things that you've said, right? It's the internet. The internet is forever. Until the end will heat death of the universe. But like, this right here is all anybody needs to know about you. That you knowingly put this out into the world and fielded this opinion and defended that opinion. That is enough for the average reasonable person to come to a conclusion about who you are as a person. Chat doesn't know anything. Chat hardly knows anything about me, right? They don't know where I live. They don't know what I do for fun. They don't generally know how my day goes. They don't know certain interests that I like. That's fine. That's how that is. I like, this feels like a nothing burger point. Like, cool. I guess. Why should your audience care, right? Why, chat, why should you care about my bowel movements after eating Taco Bell? Doesn't matter, right? Right? Doesn't really matter. You don't need to know every intimate detail about my life. I don't need to know every intimate detail about your life. It's almost like we could just interact and have a cool time, have a fun time, be chill with each other, right? Weird, right?
Single most crucial detail of that drama from 4 years ago, yes, this is again another 4-year-old drama, is that Unnamed wasn't a speedrunner. And it certainly had nothing to do with him or anyone else being better than me at speedrunning.
So, like that's, yeah, people are allowed to come in. If I wanted to get an Animal Crossing speedrunning right now, like Animal Crossing GameCube, yeah, I don't have to be a speedrunner. I can start doing the routing and stuff and improving my skills. Oh, but you mean I have to be an existing speedrunner from, I don't know, 20 years ago and speedrun multiple things to even be considered a speedrunner? That's called gatekeeping.
Not being competitive in speedrunning 4 years. By May 2021, when Unnamed beat No Damage in GTA 5 before me, I shit you not, I was not even in the top 10 for any main speedrunning category of GTA 5. But again, even in this group of speedrunners that was better than me, Unnamed wasn't in that group because he wasn't a speedrunner. Like, when literally every detail given by Willy about a drama is incorrect, do I really need to spend the time to explain what that drama was about?
He's like arguing that.
Why do I care about your speedrunning history? Someone ran better than you, did they not? Why are we arguing this point? Why is it, what? What? I feel like I lost brain cells on that one.
The category they were competing in wasn't technically a speedrun, therefore my argument is invalid. It's semantics. He says Unnamed forgave him, so it's fine.
When did we squash the beef? Or there wasn't really any beef? I mean, because you've always been chill and I've just been a grouchy arsehole.
After you completed one hit KO yourself, I just like DM'd you, yo, congrats, but can you unban me?
I think I said it multiple times. You were a very stoic dude. Your only interest seemed to be that you didn't want to be banned.
This says more about Unnamed's character than yours. This guy can't even play a game of Among Us without making it about himself.
Runs around the entire f***ing map to come to.
So the context that was provided for this clip was that I guess he was having a really bad day. I don't know. I don't know the details. I don't really care about the details. However, contextually, it should be noted he was having a very awful day. It sounded like he just wanted to play a single game of Among Us. That being said, I would argue just be an actual adult, be able to have your frustrations, even vent your frustrations. But hey, sorry, having a bad day. You know what? Let's talk about this later. Let's talk about this in a more appropriate setting rather than live on Twitch, right? Or wherever he streams. Weird, right?
Oh, too. And I'm like, I had nothing to say. I was literally speechless. I did not speak that entire time because I was so confused why we were still in the game. I have never been this mad at a person the entirety of my life.
I apologize. I'm still a little new at the game.
If you don't even know how to win the game, why are you playing?
I do.
Honestly, at that point, the inner shitposter and troll in me was just like, nah, that's the best way to play the game. Like, dude, I play games completely incorrect. I don't know how to play half the games I play. I just apply something. I just apply force in some way, and sometimes I win, sometimes I don't. Like, I don't know how to run lasso in Halo. I'm sure I could do group lasso in Halo and be like, oh yeah, nah, I looked really cool there for one part. Yeah, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to deal with iron being on.
I'm just sorry.
After yelling at him, Viper would then write, Scott will not be unbanned. It was not simply that I was having a bad day. I was close to tears at the beginning of the stream. I felt impressively down, perhaps due to a lack of caffeine as I was kicking soft drink. I came to the one thing I love at the moment, Among Us. To have it ruined by a guy who didn't just play badly, he literally didn't play. He'd then make a follow-up video saying that he has no friends.
Yeah, I was about to say that's why you don't have friends. Because here's the thing, even if it is not you being the target of that, you in the firing line, now everyone around you will just understand that that is on your mind, that that is what you're capable of, right? That's like if you're having an argument with your partner, right? And your partner mentions something divorce. You're like, whoa, where is this coming from? And now every instance after, you're going to be thinking about that, right? That's how that works. It's like how... most of my friends don't even watch my content, right? That's not a woe is me moment. It's like, no, I agree. I hardly watch React content anymore. I'll tune into the occasional thing to see how other people do things, right? Absolutely. But like, my family doesn't watch what I do. My friends don't watch what I do. I've had friends say, yeah, I kind of hate what you do. It's like, okay, sure. And that's the thing is, if I talk about it or I want to discuss it, I just have to understand that they're just not into it, right? Someone doesn't like Marvel, but they like DC. Do you talk Marvel with them? Maybe if it's super relevant, but in them talking about, say, Batman, do you segue and talk about, I don't know, Dormammu or something like that, and why you love Dormammu, right? I know very little about who Dormammu actually is. I just know he's in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, right? Read the room. Sometimes don't say things that you don't mean. Don't say things that are kind of those like nexus of conversations, those nexus moments, right? Because you mention certain things, and especially if you know someone doesn't like it or you know someone has a certain opinion, you're actively poking a bear.
A lot of my life, I've wanted to play board games.
Sure.
Board games always look so enjoyable, but I had no friends to play them with. And the friends that I did have made it even worse, that they would...
I have 3 pocket analogs, 6 GBA SPs, 2 Game Boy Colors, 1 modded. It's modded for a backlit screen. 2 3DSs, 1 3DS XL, 1 3DS, 1 DSi. I have every mainline Pokemon game. I have triple official copies of Pokemon Fire Red. I can literally fund an actual like tournament of Pokemon, like a Gen 3 tournament. I bought the funny Ultimate Warhammer 40k starter set, Tyranids versus Space Marines. I have more than enough Eldari. I'm pretty sure I have easily 3k points Eldari. Easy. It's included 2 Wraith Knights. I love those things. Do I have anyone to play them with? Not really. I have like 3 Switches for multiplayer things. Do I have people to play with? Not really. And what are you doing to pursue that dream? What are you doing to change your actions and behavior to allow for that to happen? Hear me out. Have you tried going to an actual 40k store or a board game store? Weird, right? Where you could maybe have an organic reaction there by getting off the internet and touching grass and meeting people. The best decision I ever made was to go to a Warhammer store because, oh my god, it was amazing. I got to talk about so many cool things. I'm gonna rant and rave about it because, oh my god, it was amazing. But I got to meet super legit people. Made me want to love the hobby even more. Like, just because I can fund an entire Yu-Gi-Oh tournament with I get to fund a top 8 with decks I own. Don't have anyone to play it with. Oh well. Like, I don't know. Just such a weird, self-jab, I feel.
Play board games and not invite me.
I wonder why.
It takes something like half an hour to fill the lobby. Like, you guys may think I'm super famous and popular and shit, but there's not a heap of people who want to play with me. As a matter of fact, I once more asked a Discord full of other streamers if they wanted to play with me, and I got no responses. Again.
So hear me out. Once again, earlier in the video, talked about reaching out to CoffeeZilla, Terminal Montage, reaching out to people about reacting to their content or clarification on reactions to their content. They don't answer. Wow. It's almost like they're streamers. It's almost like they're busy. It's almost like they have other things that they want to do. Now, we can obviously look at the elephant in the room and say, I wonder why, but we can also take a more, I guess, realistic and grounded approach of, They could just be busy. They could just not want to do something, right? That is not inherently an attack against you. And I want to clarify that. Someone not responding to me on a query, or if I can react to them, is not an attack on me. It's frustrating when it feels like there's a double standard, but like at the end of the day, are they doing it maliciously? No, I think we could definitively say no. And they're probably also just busy. That's what a grounded, rational, reasonable adult would come to the conclusion of.
I think it's maybe the third or fourth time I've tried. I've left that server now because it just brought back all the memories of my fucking friends not inviting me to play games. It just brought up those feelings. I don't like those feelings. I have people I'm playing with who are experienced in the game because that's what I requested, and so I kill a guy and the game doesn't end. I'm sitting there like, the game's not ending. The game is not ending. Why is the game not ending? I'm not a person who is lost for words very often, but my body from the person I killed was found, and they accused me of the kill, and I literally didn't speak.
Oh, Charizard, that was last video as well. We went in with such vitriol once his entire thing, but by the end, it's like, man, I really just pity him. Like every single time, it's like I Stockholm syndrome myself into this, right? And every single time, and here's the thing, right? This is one of those things where just for the good quote unquote person to me is just like, man, maybe I could reach out. Maybe I could try to offer some sort of consolation. Maybe try to like, hey, let's work together to make a better solution. But then I remember that this is his stance, and I go, yeah, me reaching out would probably end up with me being blocked in some capacity. His community mollywobbing me. Like see the other React video we did prior. Like by the end, I'm just like, yeah, I pity him. Like, dude's miserable. Dude is strictly other. But even if you wanted to help, are you going to be able to change it? Or is he just going to continue to bring everyone else around him? See, Dark Viper's interesting to look at because there are certain things that I do that I feel are similar in a lot of aspects, right? Like especially when I get super tired and I make some kind of weird negative post like that, which clearly I've generally stopped, right? And to see what not to do and what to learn from so I can just be a better person. He's very interesting to look at in terms of what not to do.
I was so just the weight of still being in the game was still washing over me. I was just having that bad of a day, and I'm like, is this it? Is this me one day doing something for myself, and this is the situation I find myself in? And so the game plays out for another 10 minutes, and me sitting there just going, I can't believe we're still in this game. And we end up losing. And I go off at this guy. I was just so fucking pissed that my one chance to save my day.
So, recently on stream, we were playing Helldivers 2 on stream, right? I wanted to make sure everyone got a full 3 set in. But that's the thing, is some people had to leave after one game. So, I could continue being upset about having people constantly shifting in and out. Or I can go, yeah, just make sure you max at 3 games. Chad, who was there in the Helldivers stream? What did I do? Yeah, hey, it looks like it's not working. Some people only stay for 1 or 2 games instead of a full 3 set. Hey, cool. Yeah, as long as people are rotating in, do I really care? No, not really. You can only control so much, and sometimes, even if you set up everything, sometimes it's just out of your ability to control. Yeah, that's you either complain about it or you just fix the issue. You just roll with it.
To make myself feel good is ruined by this guy who joined a game that he clearly should not have been in because he mustn't be experienced at the game, which was the very thing that I requested. And so I timed him out. And then I realized I don't want to see this person ever again. I don't want to remember this bad day. I want to move on with my life, smooth sailing, so I banned this person. They were in a gate lobby they should not have been in explicitly and made no mention of their inexperience of the game, clearly deserving of a ban. This day sucks. It is the culmination of every negative thing in my life.
I want to point out that he chose to upload this. He chose to record this. Had no self-reflection on like, man, this could probably look pretty bad for someone who's a 2 million subscriber channel. And just said, full send, F it, we ball. Like, bro! There's videos that I have never released. Because I don't think that they're up to my standard. I don't think that they're bueno, right? Cool. It's almost like I just go outside, take a breath, do something else, and come back with the level head. Interesting, right?
And reinforces in me that I can't have a day to myself. I don't deserve shit. I will get back to editing, people.
He blames this on his Hashimoto's disease.
So something like a month prior, I had been diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease.
Don't ask, didn't care. Like once again, I don't. It is such a non-issue to me. Like, obviously someone has to live with this, right? I mean, and clearly, I've looked at people like Iron Mouse, right? Super legit streamer. Has struggles in life. Absolutely. Super legit streamer. Why aren't you super legit streamer? Weird, right? Like, as it turns out, you kind of just do the best with what you're given. And you try to live life to the fullest, or at least in the best that you can. Am I missing something here? Am I missing some weird philosophy 102 course?
My particular condition is called hypothyroidism. Tiredness, puffy face, hoarse voice, muscle aches, tenderness, and stiffness.
Nobody cares.
I was gonna add context, but hold up.
Tiredness, puffy face, hoarse voice, muscle aches, tenderness, and stiffness.
Nobody cares. He's like...
Oh my god. You know what? I'm not even gonna comment. That was perfect. That was the perfect encapsulation of anything I could have said. Oh my god, WillyMacShow, you absolute savage G. I loved that.
God forgive me so I can't be goofed on anymore.
Scott, of course, forgave me immediately because it was really obvious that I wasn't doing well, and so he didn't take it personally. Even now, 4 years later, Scott still comes round to the stream.
That says more about Scott's character than yours. I talk about how he stopped being friends with Carl Jobs because Carl took a sponsorship from Asmon's PC company. And since Asmon makes React content, Carl essentially took blood money. Carl says, yes, this is the reason. I find it to be unhealthy and not a good thing. Carl would delete this tweet and apologize for leaking the email.
Willy, of course, being dishonest, doesn't say that what he's showing on screen is a deleted tweet that Carl deleted before publicly apologizing for bringing our disagreement public.
But that doesn't change.
So I actually, hold up. I want to actually read that really quick. Because I don't really have anything. I don't have any reference point for Carl Jobs. To DV for making it public. No, wait, what? My previous tweets. I'm going to lawsuit, surgeries, death. Sure, a lot of stuff going through. No, so what I'm trying to figure out is if this is breach of like NDA or contract or something. I don't know. I don't really know what to read on this situation. I mean, at the end of the day, like if somebody made information public that wasn't supposed to be public, I mean, that's kind of a big no-no. That's like if I signed an NDA to test something, insert nebulous concept here, to test something, and I leaked I was testing it. Like, that puts me in hot water. I don't know if this... that's what it sounded like. I don't know. Just it was poor taste to do what he did. Let me go back to the actual tweet.
Screen is a deleted tweet. The Carl deleted...
I'm missing the context, dear. So I'll just say, correct me if I'm wrong. At the end of February, I released a video which had a Starforge PC sponsor, and immediately after I released this video, they banned me. Starforge, partly owned by Asmongold, who doesn't like me because of React content. So banned me because I promoted Asmon's company. Very recently spoken with DV on the phone before this when we were friends, right up until this videos. So that's the thing, right? Anyone who's wanting to be Dark Viper's friend has to look at, bro, I made a video, you didn't agree with it, and ended the friendship. That's any reasonable person is going to look at someone who does that and go, whoa, they're probably a little unstable. Probably don't want to be that person's friend. Probably a lot of drama. Probably a lot of red flags, right? That's, yeah, like actions lead to consequences. This leads to a perception of people on you for your actions. I mean, like, it's so strange. Like, what?
And since Asmon makes React content, Carl essentially took blood money. Carl says, yes, this is the reason. I find it to be unhealthy and not a good thing. Carl would delete this tweet and apologize for leaking the email.
Willy, of course, being dishonest, doesn't say that what he's showing on screen is a deleted tweet that Carl deleted before publicly apologizing for bringing our disagreement public.
But that doesn't change that it happened. The email is insane. Carl, I don't have people close to...
Strap in. Strap in, get your helmets, we're gonna go for a ride.
Me by choice. Friendship requires trust, and I don't give that out unless out of necessity.
So, hold up from chat. Dark Viper's trying to say it was wrong, Willy, to show that because it was a deleted tweet, which Carl apologized to Willy. Dark Viper deleted this. I'm still gonna show it because he still made the thing. His 14 pages and likening people like me, who, while I do try to be more transformative and commentative, do react content, right? So therefore, not only did he have his funny bit earlier of we memed, oh, he just told us to KMS, right? KYS, right? Yeah, when you put the SA somebody in an actual thing that you stand by, and then you double and triple down on it, and then you eventually delete it, yeah, like, there's that hypocrisy word again. He's going after this because it was supposed to be deleted, but also delete stuff? Like, I don't know, maybe hypocrisy is not the right word for that. It definitely feels disingenuous, though. And I will continue to, continue to just cite this because it's dumb. And this is a perfect encapsulation of his character.
But most of my life being kicked by those I've given even a measure of trust to. Regardless of whether you personally felt it meaningful, you broke the small measure of trust I gave you. A currency more rare than anything on this earth.
Doubt.
I am under no obligation to associate with you anymore. Matt's response to me pointing out how ridiculous this is to say Willy says friends. I only broke up with one friend due to react content. He ended relationships with friends over this.
It is a skill that Willy can say so few words, but say so many false things at the same time.
It's a skill to say so much, but so little. I mean, like the pot. Sure, if we're wanting to go with that, WillyMac's been incredibly streamlined in his explanations and has honestly cited a lot of things. Unlike yourself, who continues to say things, go into some weird thing about how the world is out to get you, and how how everyone is just kicking you when you're down, and continue to not say anything. To which, once again, this is the perfect encapsulation of who you are as a person. I didn't make the tweet. You made the tweet. You made the 14-page document. I don't know what to tell you.
To start, I don't know if Willy thinks Carl is multiple people, but what do you mean by friends? Like, even when he wants to slam dunk own me, he can't help but lie.
I'm talking to a grammar Nazi, man. His defense boils down to Carl forgave him.
The predictable ended up happening. We went to PAX, and we're like, hey, sorry about all that. We're good, right? And it's like, yeah, that's cool.
That says more about Carl than it does about you. You send an
Yeah, no, I hard agree with that. It says more about him than it does you.
unhinged email and Carl apologizes. That's insane. You broke up with him for taking a sponsorship while he was getting sued. You can't have nice things when you're friends with Matt. It just seems like people keep having to forgive you. Does the context in these clips change anything? Does it make him look better or does it make him look more unhinged? He gets on me for calling his essay a manifesto.
It wasn't a manifesto. It didn't even contain all my arguments or
Oh, no. I call it a manifesto. Especially if he hates the word, I'm going to use it even more.
ideas about reaction content. It's called How the React Grift Works. It was in no way, shape, or form focused on morality.
All of your videos and your essays are about why react content is morally wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's just objectively false. Like, that is objectively wrong. Do not lie to my face.
Anyone could come away with another conclusion. And he still has this eternal victim mindset, even through our beef. I get sent a clip of him saying he would sue me for defamation if he thought he wouldn't get pushback.
Have you considered defamation laws exist for a reason? It might not be a good look, but the reason these channels keep doing it is because no one is willing to take them to court over it. I could sue these guys for defamation. Could spend all the money to no way make back the money that I would spend so much of my time that I normally spend on making content.
Excuses. Once again, if you're going to threaten legal action, what my experience in finance was, if somebody, even if they weren't going to follow through on it, threatened legal action, you have now threatened legal action. We're going to terminate this interaction. All further correspondence may come from your legal team. Have a nice day.
And get a ruling that would certainly be in my favor, because they lied. Like, so many times did they obviously lie. But I'm going to look bad the entire time. It's going to inspire those not being sued to lie even more, to make money, and I'm not going to get anything out of it. I'm just going to look worse, even if I'm doing the right thing. Doesn't defamation require proof you suffer financial or mental harm as a result of the defamation? When I was talking to that lawyer...
Defamation is so hard to prove, though. Like, I would literally have to reach out to John Lawyer. But even then, even reaching out to them, here's the thing. I understand people's time is money, like we discussed earlier in the video, right? So I'm not going to rehash that whole thing. If I wanted to truly discuss the ins and out of defamation and how it could versus could not be provable, I would be paying a lawyer for their time. The way that I understand it is very hard to prove. There is absolutely defamation, and you can sue over it. Proving it is an entirely different ballpark, though.
I did say that would be one of the harder things to do, because in abstract, obviously there's going to be both, but pointing to a line going down would be a lot harder.
So I followed him on my already existing Blue Sky account. Well, now I'm a stalker.
I woke up this morning and found out that he has joined Blue Sky, and you would expect that he would follow his friends, family, and, you know, content that he enjoys. But no, that's not what Willy does, because
this is narcissism, right? This definitely fits a narcissist trying to control other people. And oh well, he joined Blue Sky, and now he's clearly stalking me and trying to control others. I really feel like this is it paints him as a narcissist. Yeah, this sounds right.
Willy is a psychotic stalker. So the first thing he does is follows me. Again, it's not that he follows friends, family, content he enjoys.
I followed other people first. It's right there.
He's like, oh, I can stalk that DarkViperAU guy, that guy who blocked me. This is insane behavior. This is psychotic. This is not normal. I have been...
No, that's funny, dude. That's hilarious. Like... Banger.
In this business now for 12 years. I've been in the commentary community to some degree for all that time. I've had feuds with dozens of people, arguments back and forth with videos. I have never seen...
That's not a selling point. Your selling point should not be, I had a fight with X, Y, and Z. That's not a selling point. That's not how that works. That's not how you make friends.
Anyone as deranged as WillyMacShow is. That's just not with people I've interacted with. Other people watching their feuds as well. I've never seen anyone act as WillyMacShow has.
You've never seen someone follow you on social media? He acts like I followed his mom on Facebook or showed up to his house. How is he always the victim?
I've never seen anyone act as WillyMacShow has. Lying 4 months, spamming tweets 4 months, stalking on other platforms, making old accounts on platforms to stalk.
Man, if that's what WillyMacShow is doing, man, I've seen people do a lot worse. What about my old roommate who just like Facebook stalks people, right? Like, hi, we went to high school with this person, or I wonder what you're doing right now, right? Like, what's that behavior then? Like, if this is a 10, like actual stalker psychotic behavior, what is that? Man, I would love to live in the sheltered reality he lives in. Sounds a lot nicer there. Like, man, if only I could unread what Ed Gein did. I had to do a college paper on that man. But I guess WillyMacShow is just like... What is his talking point?
Talk further. I'm not following him. I don't care what he says. I only find out about things he says when people DM them specifically to me.
Same, dude. I don't have alt accounts that follow him. He's just making that up. Even in these tweets, he shows us talking trash back and forth. He has me blocked and he would respond to my tweets talking shit, but I couldn't respond back or even see it. We have both been antagonizing each other. It truly is the world's dorkiest beef. Two guys fighting over React content. No one's in danger. Matt, I don't hate you. I just think you're cringe and dramatic and you aren't beating those allegations anytime soon. Please.
I mean, I will definitely not be the bigger person here. I don't think I'd necessarily say hate. This, however, is absolutely unacceptable. And there will never be any sort of reality which I see Dark Viper in any way, shape, or form as redeemable. Sure, he could turn his life around tomorrow. He could seek professional help. He could do a lot, absolutely. You know what? And good for him if he does that. This essay comment right here in his 14-page manifesto is every reason I need to never want to ever associate with him. To never ever want to be a part of anything that he is in. And that being said, if it ends up being like, I don't know, I go to like TwitchCon or something like that, or I go to an event, right, and he's there, you know what I do as an adult? I just ignore him. I just move on. I do other things with my day because it's not worth my time, right? It's, as it turns out, as an adult, you can not like someone or something and not want to deal with it, but you don't have to make it this weird focal point of what you do or who you are, right? Don't like the dude. Walk the other way. Grats. We have solved the conundrum.
A clip of Chud talking about Viper's hypocrisy when viewing Sniper Wolf's content versus Asmon Gold's, and he frames this as Chud isn't adding anything, he's just acting confused.
I'm sure there are people out there who think watching a video for the first time and being like, I don't understand, chat help, I gotta pause this video, chat, what's he talking about here, I don't understand, I've done literally no research into this video, like I've never seen it before, but like, what's going on here, chat? Like, I'm sure some people think that's valuable stuff because it's adding to the runtime.
That clip is valuable because he's showing how your argument isn't making sense. He's literally adding value to the video.
Like, if you remember, Sniper Wolf wasn't mentioned in my first essay, and I had no intention of mentioning her in it. And even Charlie said, why is Sniper Wolf not mentioned here? And I said explicitly, it's because technically what she makes is after the facts. And I said, maybe I will make a video on Sniper Wolf one.
Nani the what? What are we do? What is happening? What? I have been very critical, especially due to the whole doxing situation, right? That whole Jacksfilm situation. I personally don't watch Sniper Wolf, as if I wanted to watch funny short content, TikToks, etc., I would just watch funny TikTok shorts, etc. I'm lost here. I'm lost here, chat. I'm lost in the swouse.
Wait, what? What does that mean? Sniper Wolf is taking people's TikToks, collecting them together, barely reacting to it, and making that our own content. Because it's not a live reaction. What difference does that make? Why does that make a difference?
There is no difference. It's a legitimate example of how critical react content is real content that stands on its own. I would tell you to watch the video and come to your own conclusion, but Viper struck it down. Matt has this conspiracy where he thinks the only reason I made a video on him is because I'm friends with Chud. I can't possibly have my own opinions on react content or what qualifies as fair use.
It's important to remember why Willy was making this video in the first place. He wanted to defend his fellow drama associate, Chud Logic. So WillyMacShow is one of these.
So he's really good at making conclusions, but having zero evidence to back it up, or having substantial evidence at best, right? I could say DarkViperAU strikes me as a narcissist, right? What is my supporting evidence? I don't know. My supporting evidence is, I don't know, this makes sense from narcissists that I've met in the past. That being said, if you disagree with that conclusion, that's absolutely fair and valid. You are absolutely allowed to come to your own conclusions, especially if you work in the field where, hi, Kip, I am John Psychologist, John Psychiatrist, right? This is actually what narcissism is. These are the flags for narcissism. This is why I think that conclusion is incorrect. Hi, thank you, John Psychiatrist or John Psychologist. Thank you for your input. I do value that. Let me pin this comment to make sure that the most correct information is being spread. Done. We're end tweet. Dude, I can make a conclusion about anything. It's having the evidence to support it, right? Wow.
Cartoonish grifters who is friends with Chud Logic. In fact, as I found out recently, he is in a group of drama YouTubers that all work together to like collaborate and push the same message and attack the same people. Of course, WillyMacShow doesn't disclose this association, even when he talks about the situation.
It's not the FTC, my guy.
Between me and Chud Logic, because Willy is a liar.
When I started making that video back in March, I don't think I've ever talked to Chud Logic before. Yes, we were in a group chat, but there was like 15 to 20 people in there. I haven't been a part of it in months. I don't know everybody who's in it, and I'm certainly not friends with all of them. It's the ultimate conspiracy people clutch onto when they get called out. I feel like I'm watching Alex Jones. Speaking of wild allegations, Viper would accuse Chud and his community of getting him doxxed on a forum. His proof is Chud talking smack after Viper tried to strike his video.
If you strike someone, even if it's 100% justifiable, legally and ethically, there'll be the WillyMacShows going, this guy trying to turn off my free faucet of content? How dare they?
So you have to understand that copyright striking is absolutely within their reason, right? So let's go to my own situation with Forgotten Weapons, right? So let's go over here. Let's go to my channel. Once YouTube decides it wants to actually load, we're going to go to the channel. We're going to go to the community tab, right? And we're going to go down to this funny little thing that I received from Forgotten Weapons, right? Hi, Tactkip, which is the other channel, right? Received a copyright removal request on your video based on applicable copyright law. We've removed your video from YouTube. Title, Tangashima, Guns of Samurai. Kip reacts to Forgotten Weapons video. URL, content found 6 minutes 54 seconds to 8 minutes 57 seconds. Removal request issued by Ian McCullough. Contact info, admin at ForgottenWeapons.com. This means your video can no longer be viewed on YouTube. You received a copyright strike. To which my response is, we're removing all reactions to Forgotten Weapons. We're not reacting in the future. I'll also be ignoring any and all requests to react to their content. I'm always open to creators asking me to take down reactions. And I'm more than happy to flush should they ask. I'm rather disappointed I'm not worth the time to ask the copyright owner. And I click removing the backlog before I accrue multiple copyright strikes from Forgotten Weapons since I had about 4 videos. 3 were in queue. Do not re-upload any reactions I've done to this content. Thank you for your understanding. That was my official statement. To which we've had other things in here. And effectively, what I kind of settled on, and I kind of ended up copy-pasting a little bit, was yeah, I mean, legally, he is allowed to do a copyright strike, as people say in the thread. Yeah, it's kind of the nuclear option, but legally, it does exist. To which it's like, why? I'm like, hey, you wanted to file a copyright strike? Hi, I need legal and notarized documents from you and your legal team for any action you may or wish to pursue against me for this. Sure. Some may consider that an overreaction. Probably is an overreaction. At the same time, at least I've opened the dialogue because it really sounds like, 1, person didn't want React content to their content. Sure. That's fine. As I've said, the actual creator does hold, and the copyright holder does hold ultimate authority on how their copyrighted material may or may not be used. Never discounting that. Not discounting that. And yeah, striking is kind of the nuclear option. So thus why I return with, that's fine. Where's the paperwork from your legal team? More than happy, whatever you're doing. And hence why I use the wording may or may not wish to pursue, because it could just be a one and done. Probably nothing will ever happen from it. But there's the off chance that this could escalate. So, draw your own opinion. If you like Forgotten Weapons, if you like Ian, not going to say not to watch their content. Do what you do. You do you. Do live your best life, right? This is even Dark Viper. If you want to watch Dark Viper, go watch him. I don't care. It's a non-issue. I'm not going to be weird. I'm not going to be like, well, you watch me, therefore you can't watch Dark Viper, or you can't watch Dark Viper if you watch. Come on. We're all adults, right? Watch whoever you want. Engage with whoever you want. Come to your own educated conclusions and opinions. That's all I ask.
Dig up anything from any point in this person's history that I can make a video on. I will take this person down.
I will find any possible clip of them looking terrible.
So hold on, wait. That last line.
Video on. I will take this person down.
Didn't he say earlier in the video that something, why must I suffer? One person could take it and try to ruin my life. Very hypocritical.
I will find any possible clip of them looking terrible, mock it and laugh at it. That is now the fucking plan. This could be one of the most pathetic specimens I've ever come across. This is brilliant. Anyway, Jesus Christ, man. I'm going to spend my whole stream hating on Dark Viper. And what we're going to do is we're going to spend the next 3 weeks digging up every single embarrassing thing that Dark Viper's ever done publicly and making content out of it. No, I'm not really going to do that, okay?
In the same way that...
So here's the thing. People generally only reach this threshold because here's the thing. People could dig up old tweets I've made, or people could dig up old tweets WillyMacShow has made, right? And try to spin something on it, right? But at the same time, if you haven't really done anything to warrant that ire, no one really cares. In fact, you are the asshole. You are the aggressor, right? Like... As it turns out, generally this happens when somebody does something that is just either egregious, off the wall, out there, not appropriate, and then tweets will get dug up, right? Then people go through someone's history to show a pattern of behavior.
Even though Chud was entirely legally and ethically in the wrong, and he knew that, Chud still made these demands of his viewers that made a thread about me and doxed me to thousands of people.
Any proof of that, Sherlock? Chud's video came out November 15th, 2023. Viper's Kiwi Farms thread didn't come out till March 23rd, 2024. Over
Kiwi Farms? Wow, that's a name I haven't heard in a hot minute.
4 months later, you're prescribing a doxing allegation to his community based on nothing. It's crazy. He tries to frame me as a clout-hungry fallen fan who was trying to buddy up with him.
Willy is a person who is a clout chaser in the traditional sense of the word, where it's not just an insult, he actually just follows people that have a lot of viewership and tries to buddy up to them in order to get views. And so the reason he followed me on Twitter and engaged with my stuff so much was in an attempt to get views from me. When he found out that he couldn't get views from me because I didn't respect him, as was in this video, he seemed to conclude, at least that's the only explanation I can think of that explains why this video, that he could just lie about me.
This is based on me replying to 12 of his tweets over the course of 2 years.
Like, I talk to very few people. I trust so few people. To have me reach out to talk to you for any reason is a very, very strange thing.
I don't care. I don't feel honored by your DMs. Your ego is massive.
WillyMac didn't know much about me. I thought he knew at least something, because for the previous, year and a half, 2 years, he had liked 50 of my tweets, had responded to like a dozen of them.
Dude is literally grasping at shadows and coming to just conclusions. What a weird logic train.
Of all the creators that I knew at the time, he had engaged with my Twitter the most, in a positive way.
And I took that personally. That's 6 tweets a year, man. One of them is you tweeting out my video, calling it the video of the year. The others were general pop culture stuff. It's so parasocial of him to think we had this relationship.
As it turns out, Willy is a person who is a clout chaser in the traditional sense of the word, where it's not just an insult, he actually just follows people that have a lot of viewership and tries to buddy up to them in order to get views.
Yeah, that's why
That's yeah, we're moving on from that one. That's just dumb.
Sided with Chud Logic for clout. What's funny is I remember him actually tweeting out a bunch of my videos, complimenting them, but when I went back on Twitter, I found that he deleted all of his tweets before December of last year, meaning he screenshotted these for this video and then deleted everything so I couldn't go back and check. Wow, such an
Isn't that actual like textbook abusive behavior? Like it's controlling. I don't remember what it is. It's not. It's a flavor of abusive behavior, right? Like if you end the conversation and you end the conversation in a way that you control the end of the conversation and prevent the other person from rebuttaling. Like isn't that actually like an actual like trait, a flag for abusive behavior?
Honest guy.
If I see you waving, my hand goes in the air, even though you're waving to that guy over there.
It's obvious that
if this section was like social skills blank and then the next section, that would have been perfect.
At this point that Viper doesn't know how to navigate a social situation. He really has that Reddit mod mindset. He's confused why Chud would be roasting him for putting a strike on his channel.
Here's just a small selection of how Chud acted reasonably when his video got taken down, entirely justifiably.
And pay his good money to get this fucking retarded bitch to file this stupid takedown request, okay? Idiots. Total idiots. Total fucking clown show over at the...
So, if this video gets struck, right? Let's hypothesize here. If this video gets struck and taken down, do I keep the original MP4 of this or MP whatever? I think I used .mov. I think I used QuickTime Movies because of the upload, Idaho Internet and all. Do I just disseminate that? Like how do we address that? I want to know. do I just make this like the Star Wars Christmas episode? Oh my god.
That fucking lawyer place. That this lawyer would say this. It has to be that Dark Viper's been like, can you just please make sure that Chud doesn't get this because it'll just make more content about me. Correct! Here I am, Dark Viper! Let's go!
What a
I'm here, baby! I'm here making more content about you, little wretch! The last thing you wanted to happen.
You had your lawyer ask not to let Chud know about your correspondence with YouTube. You struck his channel attacking his livelihood over a 1,000-view video. Of course he's going to roast you for this. How are you surprised? Sometimes
once again, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. If you copyright strike someone's video, and you're doing this seemingly maliciously, especially when you are literally punching down, people are going to have an issue with it. People are going to laugh at you. That's how that works. If someone made a video saying that Kip is a inconsistent VTuber, right? And they pointed out like inconsistencies in my logic and stuff, and I just copyright strike the video, like, nah, take that down. Pretty sure people are going to have an issue with me doing that, especially if it's like a video that's like 1,000 views, right? Like, the better is expected of you because of your size. I try to act like I have 1 million subscribers and stuff because like it conditions me for hopefully getting to that point eventually and trying to navigate. My biggest flaw is that I engage way too much, especially with weird screechers talking about how I pause way too much. I need to engage way less, especially with content like that, right? But like, no, like more is expected. You are a large personality. You are a public figure of 2 million subscribers. Just more is expected. That's how that works. With great power comes great responsibility. IDK. It's gonna make a Spider-Man meme there.
I was just joking, and Viper's using it unironically.
And if you saw the footage I put in there of Chud Logic, the man's an unhinged maniac.
Yes! I am a fucking unhinged maniac! That's right, motherfucker! I'm a fucking unhinged maniac! You've got me exactly right. That is what I am. I'm totally fucking unhinged, okay?
Chud Logic is going at him. I didn't even know these videos existed. What an absolute just animal. And I mean that in the best way. What a cool dude who's just like, nah, this guy, I'm doing this. We're going for this. I'm sure he makes other videos as well. But like, man, what a cool dude. I don't have the tolerance or the patience to do stuff like this. So it's really cool when I have an issue with somebody, making weird statements like this to just see them just go ham. It's really cool. It's really cool to see. And it's definitely humbling. It's a humbling experience.
I'm a total maniac! Ah!
Or he thinks it's hypocritical that I don't care that Tom told someone to kill themselves on Twitter.
Chud Logic, Nicholas, the Drio, Turkey Tom, all these people have endless actual controversies that are true, that any of the things that Willy accuses me of in his video, if he actually cared about them, if he actually thought these were negative things worthy of, telling the world or getting up in arms about, he wouldn't associate with any of these people. Kendrick versus Drake for unemployed.
You don't get to control who others interact with, that's manipulative and abusive behavior? What? Bro, how do you even begin to unpack that sentence? Once again, he says so much, and it kind of makes your brain hurt.
People. This washed up liberal YouTuber, Turkey Tom, just spent 7 minutes dick riding my account because he wants to be relevant again. I've never even heard of him until today. You are a tard who reposts out of context clips all day begging for attention, and then you cry when people shit on you for it. Find a rope. Like, I don't think I've ever gotten so butthurt on Twitter that I've told someone.
See, okay, I hear find a rope, and that is find a rope to climb yourself out of. That's at least what it came across to me. But then again, I have different definitions for things than people do, right? Like, what was it? Oh my god. Gay. I always think like Tolkien, like he was so gay, right? Meaning happy, gleeful, right? Like circa 1940, 1960 definition, right? And obviously other definitions do obviously exist. But like my brain will default to different definitions than other people, in all fairness.
Want to kill themselves. Honestly, I don't think that's ever happened in my entire life.
If you did the same thing, it wouldn't bother me at all.
Did he, earlier, did he not say that the internet would be better without React creators? Right? Like we'd be better off without you? Is that not similar, at least in some regard?
This chud put the word rape in his thumbnail. That means I can't point out how his rape analogy with React content is silly.
As I'm trying to establish, Willy is never here for the nuance. He doesn't care what was actually written or why it is right or wrong. He is just looking for anything he can, regardless of how much out of context or how to distort his presentation that can...
I don't know, man. Seems pretty in context to me. Seems pretty definitive of your entire personality. Seems, yeah, that's all. That's my citation. Here's my funny canned response for you.
Fit the narrative he is trying to craft. With that all being said, it's important to remember why Willy was making this video in the first place. He wanted to defend his fellow drama associate, Chud Logic. In Chud's re-upload of my video, in the thumbnail, it says explicitly, raped by Jack.
You were trying to make a point which Carl has already explained to you why it was stupid.
What the problem with the analogy is that the mindset is completely different. So someone can actually believe that what they're doing is fair use. And, you know, the fair use is only something that a court can decide. No one can spike a drink thinking that what they're doing is legal. Okay, so the mindset is completely different. Therefore, they don't think they need consent, and therefore they're not coming from. They might not be an immoral person whatsoever, and they might not have any bad intentions whatsoever, and can still be re-uploading content in a way that they believe is fair use.
So, when we start talking about the funny R word and essay, the problem that arises is that it devalues people actually being subject to those actions, which is deplorable and despicable. Now, if you want to say that this is done without their consent, sure, we can have a discussion on that. The moment you start bringing in this, even as quote-unquote hyperbole, it is massively inappropriate. Incredibly so. I will absolutely defend that point. I do not think it is excusable by saying it's hyperbole. It's just a joke, bro. It's just a prank, bro. It's just a figure of speech. Then don't say that specific thing. Because there are people who do suffer those acts. And nobody should ever have to be subject. Even as much as you could be mad at Dark Viper, he doesn't deserve that. Nobody deserves those actions. Nobody deserves to be put in those positions. That is not okay. That it should never have to happen. And the unfortunate part is you start normalizing those terms. And then those terms become, you know, they start to lose their meaning. And actual victims suffer because of this brain-dead rhetoric, for all intents and purposes.
Someone who spikes a drink is always going to be immoral.
As I've tried to make the case, statements that reactors make, like, oh, I'll take down the video if you tell me you want it to be taken down, or I'll pay money if people reach out to me, showcase that they know what they're doing is wrong to some degree.
Nobody knows if—
No, factually incorrect. I do it to cover my ass, sure, in regards to, I don't know, because here's the thing. I've tried reaching out to people. Once again, sometimes, a lot of the times, they don't respond to me. That's fine. So what do you want me to do, right? Let's have an actual discussion, right, chat? What do you want me to do? If I wanted to say react to, oh, I don't know. Let's react to WillyMacShow. Keep it simple, right? I'm going to react to WillyMacShow. And I react to WillyMacShow. And try to reach out to him, hypothetically, in this situation. I try to reach out to him, but unfortunately, he just doesn't get back to me because he's a busy dude, right? but other people are reacting to WillyMacShow and uploading their videos. Do I wait a month? Do I wait 2 months? Do I wait a year? Or do I say, look, other people are doing this. There is that implied he's okay with this. And if not, if I get struck, like Forgotten Weapons, right? Cool. Hey, my bad. Cool. Where's the, do you have any further legal things that you were planning on? I need those, I need that paperwork. Yeah. Need your legal team and your paperwork, because it sounds like you wanted to pursue this further. Contextually, because nuclear option, right? And that's the thing, is this is aimed to harass the people who do care. Because the same people that are going to take a video and upload within the first 24 hours are going to do it anyways. They're going to game the system. Some of them might care. Some of them might hate what they do. Some of them might just say, "Look, it's like my dad has the viewpoint of if it's on the internet, it's public use, it's fair use, right? You put it on the internet, people can use it." To which then I counter with the nuance in regards to, people holding copyright and stuff like that. And I also just do it to be respectful, right? Absolutely. So how do you, once again, how do we make this fair? The failure to address the side that doesn't care only punishes the people who do try. And that's dumb.
What they're doing is wrong because there is no data or court decision on this kind of content. They're just being amicable, but Matt is incapable of understanding that because he is socially inept. He thinks I'm a hypocrite because I called Destiny a retard in a past drama and then went on his podcast years later.
Willy does not believe many of the things in which he says, nor does he actually care about anything that he says.
Those in glass houses. Come on, my guy. We've literally chronicled this through the entirety of this video. Those in glass houses. Do not lie to my face. Do not try to paint yourself as somebody who factually has proven what you have just said, right? Factually has proven that you don't believe what you say, right? Well, and let's take this to an extreme, right? Oh, well, you deleted this, so now, once you receive pushback on it, now you don't believe what you said. But you had no problem releasing a 14-page manifesto on it, right? Those in glass houses.
There's so much that I could show to establish this, but I won't spend too much time on it, but I would like to touch on a few things. For example, his statements about Destiny a few years ago.
Why are you comparing a live stream to a YouTube video?
Because copyright law doesn't change just because you live stream it. I think Destiny might just be kind of a retard.
Actual retard.
A literal retard. I did a debate about the videos I made on him. And I open, hey, did you watch any of the videos? And he goes, no.
You might think the reason why I bring this up is because it suggests that Willy is a person who will just flip-flop on anyone whenever convenient if he thinks he can get some views out of it. Or that perhaps Willy will make very confident statements about people that he barely even knows just because he thinks it will get views. Or maybe, depending upon your perspective, that Willy will say very confidently things that are entirely untrue and then realize years later, like, oh shit, I just talked out my ass. You know, that shit wasn't.
Wow. So you're saying that people generally come to snap decisions that they'll make about somebody on limited information presented, but the moment that they educate themselves and or learn more about someone or something, their opinion can and will change to them saying, hey, I was wrong, or hey, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Weird how people grow, right? But Kip, you're not allowing Dark Viper to grow. Once again, scale of 1 to 10, right? Pretty bad look for someone to put their entire brand on a 14-page manifesto that just goes off about funny R-word and essay, right? No, there are certain things that you don't cross, right? It's like, it's the Jared Fogle effect, right? Where, yeah, well, someone did something wrong in their past that shouldn't define them. Yeah, okay. Somebody, smoked a little whatever in their past, and they're like, yeah, no, I don't do that anymore. Sure, whatever, right? Or, yeah, I kind of smoke recreationally, but you know what? Doesn't affect my day-to-day or whatever, right? Yeah, your past shouldn't define you. Yeah, no, yeah, I touched this kid. Your past should define you. Whoa. You did what, my guy? You see how there's levels of magnitude here that don't transfer over? You see how you can, in fact, commit an action or actions that are just so egregious and insane that there's nothing you can do to take that back? But once again, nuance is dead on the internet.
Actually true. Or maybe that Willy does absolutely no research on people and just says whatever the f he feels like regardless of how true because he knows it will get clicks and views.
You just completely invalidated your argument because you're like, well, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, aka I'm not going to show you my receipts that I allegedly have. By the way, this guy doesn't show receipt. This guy doesn't do the research. Those in glass houses, please, come on. We have some cognizance. Some neurons have to be firing up there.
Does he give any examples of how? Nope.
My point is to say that Destiny has been around for so long that every false claim Willy makes about me is actually true about Destiny. He has actually done every single possible negative misstep that a person can have in a content creator career.
The drama was you striking a critical reaction of you. It was a trending story. Where did Destiny do that? If you have such a great video planned on Destiny, then go make it. I could tell there's times where Matt's almost having fun during this drama. He's trying to riff on Nick, but he's never had friends to do this with, so he's struggling.
Nicholas Diorio, as is a... So, there's a guy named...
What is that laugh?
Nicholas Didrio, which is Willy's other friend. And he looks like a circle.
Yeah, call him fat, Matt.
He is perfectly circular in a way that I've never seen a person before.
Oh, dude, that was so...
He's beach ball Bowberry status, bro.
Good.
And... like, I don't like to mock a person's physical appearance. It's not usually my wheelhouse. But I can't help but laugh when
there it is, the butt. I don't like to mock someone's physical appearance, but this person is shaped like a Bowberry. That butt invalidated everything he said before it. The thing he said, I don't like to do X, is it's meant to ease you in, because the moment you do comma, but the butt is meant to invalidate everything that came before. It's the softening blow, then you hit the butt, and then there's his actual comment. That's how that works.
Anyone calls him Nicholas the Oreo because he looks like an Oreo, right?
Whoa, Matt, slow down. You're gonna burn down the whole house with these roasts.
But I heard of a story, like just scrolling stuff, where it's like, because I don't like bring up stuff from like 4 years ago, but like
he's really round. He's extremely round. He himself even jokes about it. What a cool dude. What a Chad. Like absolute W behavior.
4 years ago, he was on Twitter and he posted a picture of him with a girl to insinuate that he had a girlfriend.
Nice.
And the girl comes.
Way to go, Nick.
The girl comes and like immediately says, haha, we're just friends. And so people widely mocked him because he tried to pretend to actually be in a relationship or whatever.
This was just Nick showing that he was at a bar during COVID, which was a rare thing at the time. But apparently it was widely mocked over this one like tweet, according to Matt.
But like really,
I mean, it's why I hate Twitter. Like, who cares at the end of the day, right? Like, at the end of the day, hey, cool, good for you. Like, tweet, move on. Funny cat pictures in my feed, right? Sounds like a well-rounded character. What a cool dude.
He hangs out with the lowest of the low, the most laughable, pathetic people on this platform. And then seems to pretend like this isn't the case.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I can't hang out with fat people. My bad. To wrap things up, the reaction content dialogue needs more data for me to really care about it. I do think Matt being a spaz has made this whole thing a massive pain in the ass for him, but he's also the only reason we're even talking about this stuff, so I want to give him props there. We'll see what he does. Matt is making another video on me. I will probably respond at some point, so subscribe to the channel and buy a fume. Shout out to the homies over on Patreon. Crimson Glass, Riveter, Christina Vina, Mac Monkey, Drain Kobex, Necro Valley, Stefan Bildman, Abby Blackbird, Eddie Bizzle, Tiz McFitz, Christopher H, TV Anthology Reviews, Kenkelmore, Sennial Music, Lucas If, ET Automatic, Snoopy Poop Doop 2, Amir MLB, Deep Pocket Jew, Rooney Boo, Drew is Sharon, Cloud Factory, Monkey D. Luffy, August, Shura, and the mega homies, Reynolds Hughes Hellison, IGP Your Taxi, Latchkey Gothboy, Cyber Katie, Lore Reloaded, Papa Gut, Caden Lulin, BA Subway, Hawk and Load, Derek Dew, Kitty Cat, Terox Fander, John Manfreda, Trick, Lucas, Katie Huck, Leviathan, and JPEG.
What a cool dude. What a cool reaction. Thank you, WillyMac, for making such a banger reaction. The audio throughout, I could definitely tell where different takes was. Like, not a hate point, right? Like a criticism kind of thing, right? I could tell what was done because it was a little more echoey when he was standing up. Those cut-ins where you can definitely tell where there's some background noise pollution a little bit. Definitely sounds a little closer to the mic, right? Definitely some audio discrepancies there. But I mean, that's like, cool. Maybe that gets fixed. Maybe that gets fixed in post. I don't know. I don't know his process. I don't know his editors. I don't know. Just thing that Notice wanted to bring to the forefront. Yeah, as somebody who has covered this unfortunate individual Dark Viper before, this is really where the discussion for me ends. Person said this. This is their official thing in their 14-page manifesto, is it not? This is an official stance that they had. Even if they decide, well, but I want to, I'm just going to completely delete the tweet, and the tweet is you can't find it anymore, and I have to go to Reddit to actually screenshot this thing, right, to find it. I'm sure Wayback Machine too. My opinion on him will not change. He could have the biggest character redemption arc ever. I personally would not care. That being said, I do want to say that you're your own individual. If you want to watch him, go for it. I don't care. Affects me none. Like, that's how that works. And I also want to do my best. We've like 3x the video, goddamn. Want to do my best to people I react to. I mean, the dialogue is always open. If they want me to take it down, or if they want to use what I say as kind of a response, if they want to use things I've done in my reaction, right, as supporting points or supporting evidence, right? Like, yeah, sure, grats, it's your content. I'm reacting to and engaging with your content, right? So I want to do what I can to be the change that people say they want, but never seem to do. But thank you, WillyMac, for an excellent video on a very divisive, volatile, and controversial creator. Definitely go ahead and like and subscribe to WillyMacShow. Down in the description down below, you'll see his channel link, original video, and the original video link. This won't go until after like 4 days or something after the original video goes live. Yeah, come to your own educated conclusions. Come to your own, draw your own conclusions, come to your own opinions, and do what you feel is best. I'm not your parent. Have a good day, everybody.